What?
Literally just went up.
There it is. Your stream is live.
He did it. He did
Yay.
Okay, we got it.
So let's see. What have I? How has it been? I've been on spring break for this week,
Sounds amazing.
which is fantastic. That being said, I haven't done much, guys. Let's just be honest.
I don't know if that counts. Done much for most people. You're like, he didn't really do much. You accomplished something truly unique this week, I feel. In the sense that at the beginning of the week, almost everybody was way ahead in a certain thing. And now you dominate the local marketplace in said thing.
Yeah. No, you're right. I
Wait,
do.
what did he do?
You do. I'm right. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
put in
No. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
okay,
We'll get to
okay,
it. We'll get to it.
yeah.
I still want Anthony to enjoy his time after I tell him. After I tell him, I have a feeling he's just gonna be like, "Well, fuck."
The
What?
I
Did you beat Monster Hunter?
huh?
What did you like beat Monster Hunter?
No.
Oh, okay.
Eric, I didn't.
okay, fair.
But yeah, I spent a lot of time recovering because I usually take spring break to like catch up with people and make a lot of effort to go ahead and see those that I may not have seen during the week or whatever. And that's great and all, but at the same time, it's like I needed to recharge. So I did absolutely nothing this week except for like read and play video games. I was
Yeah.
supposed to try and write. I didn't do that. I just read and I played video games. It's been fantastic.
Nice.
So yeah, that's all I've done. There's nothing really to catch up with other than the fact that I've done a lot, but I've also done relatively few things during the week.
Dude, there's a weird like I want to call it a fallacy that people have.
Mm.
And it's been highlighted on my Instagram because it's just been bombarded by like autism and ADHD like informational videos.
Uh-huh.
And the biggest one is that most people think that if you don't see them, talk to them, spend time with them regularly, that you don't like them and you don't care about them, and that they're just not important to you. And that is completely untrue for at least like ADHD people, because it's like an object permanence thing. It's like they forget that you exist, but their care for you, their interest in you,
Does not
their love
change.
for you has never gone away.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't seen them in like 20 years, they can still feel that you are one of the most important people to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, even it's so prevalent that I have some like neurodivergent friends who I've like reached out to after 7 years, and they're like, "Why are you messaging me?" And I'm like, "Excuse me, like we used to like stay up late talking and stuff like that. Like our friendship's never gonna go away to me." And then they're like, "Oh, okay, I totally feel the same way. I just like blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, so you fell victim to that weird mentality that people adopt, that if you don't keep in constant touch, you don't care anymore." And it's a weird thing, because
Yeah.
like I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, 50,000 years ago, what we all just lived together, right, in a little tribe.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You saw them every day.
you saw them every day. You just existed amongst each other, and I feel like that's what we're trying to make up for, not existing amongst each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's like a weird thing that I don't know if we'll ever get over. Like,
I think there's a definite leftover from us being in like a small tribe mentality, just evolutionary wise, and then it being carried over still into education, and yet you have this long writing building of relationships based on continuity. Like you see this
Mhm.
person every single day. Like, and if you don't see them every single day, you see them at least once a week. And so you have this sharp drop off right after any form of regulatory attendance for anything when it comes to either education or for trade school, what have you, whatever it is that brought you to your friends originally, usually ends. You don't see them as much. And that eventually leads to you feeling as if, well, am I truly friends with you anymore? Or has this change happened because we are no longer friends? I, however, have entered into the mindset that the road goes both ways. One,
Oh yeah,
the
that's a
road
big
goes
one.
both ways. Um, I don't feel guilty about the frequency that I reach out to people because if it's really important or if like I feel the need, I will. That doesn't mean that that person is less valuable to me. It's
Yeah.
just that I have a life and I'm doing stuff during that life. And it's okay for me to be like, oh, I should really do my taxes, but let me go ahead and call my friend and have a 2 hour call right now because that's what friends do. No, that's not what friends do. Friends take care of taxes.
Dude, I think one of the biggest things is nobody has as much time as people did a few decades ago.
No,
It doesn't matter
It's
how
not
no,
the same.
it's not the
advanced
same.
or subtle your like line of work is. You know,
No.
everyone is busier.
It's an attention thing. I mean, this has to go to like the way society is now in the digital age versus the non-digital age.
Mhm.
The problem is that society is pushing towards every little aspect is your attention is your worth for things like
Mhm.
work and
Yeah.
friendships and social like interactions. And so before, what you would have to do is you would have to go and plan nights, and you would have time to build up to these meetings and gatherings where you would invest a chunk of time.
Ain't none of that.
But the problem now is that time, that same amount of time is now split into multiple little bits of throughout the week and throughout your your daily life.
Mhm.
And so because of that, there's so much more context switching and so many more things that you have to that are interspersed.
Mhm.
And the biggest problem with that is that before there was a block of time that was planned out with some amount of intent.
Mhm.
And so you would get 2 hours, 3 hours. Now, what's happening is that's breaking into smaller pieces, but it has so much more overhead to each individual piece that your actual investment towards that thing is going to end up being,
Negligible.
1.5 times
Yeah.
what it was before, but you're not going to notice that time investment. So everything takes a little bit more time than it did previously because you used to group everything up. So your spin up time and spin down time was like built in, I've noticed that a lot with like a bunch of things.
Dude, especially
Mhm.
like commuting.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't get me started on commuting.
Commuting's the
Yeah.
like
Speaking of
crazy.
commuting, what are we drinking today?
Oh,
my
nice!
gosh.
Look at that!
Yes.
Look at that!
So we are on for audio. I know it's been a while since we've been on it. We are on the next destination of the
Brother, give me a
Hotel
number.
Flaviar, which is 6. We're on
Six.
6.
We're on
We're
number
on
6.
I keep putting mine back in, so I don't know which one. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah. And 6 is, oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we're on this one. So, we are back to Bourbon Land, which actually I think at some point
Guys, I'm
today.
a little concerned.
Why are you a
Uh-oh.
little concerned?
Can y'all see this?
What's in
I don't know that I can.
You see the black at the bottom?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Oh no.
Why does this keep happening to me?
Dude, why do you have the worst luck in bottles?
I
Just
mean,
filter it, I guess.
it kind of looks like it's just charcoal,
It might
It
just
might be,
be.
yeah.
It might be barrel.
almost like
Yeah.
a mark of charcoal. The funny thing is, you would think there would be like a something in there that caused it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything in mind. I think you're just cursed,
All we
dude.
know is it's sanitized because there's
Yeah.
alcohol in here. Right?
Yeah, you'll
The alcohol will
probably
kill it.
live.
It'll be fine. The
Um,
alcohol will kill it.
So funnily enough, we are back on the bourbon with this one. This is a bourbon by Spirits Lab. It's called the Bull's
Spirits
Head Bourbon.
Lab.
We're looking at a 90 proof here. Now, interestingly enough, because we are predominantly, sometimes we talk about whiskey. We'll probably have to discuss, man, the bourbon market. This is an app we'll have today. The bourbon market's in an interesting spot right now. And for people in America, this is going to be a nice time to get those expensive bourbons for a pretty affordable price.
It's time.
For people outside of America, man, this is not a good time to like bourbon.
Oh God.
So now, right off the nose,
I could smell it from here. I haven't even put it up to my nose.
we're getting some of that oak, getting a little bit of that corn smell. Like I get a lot of corn on the nose, actually. A little bit of toasted corn notes. The sweetness is light. It's got like a light vanilla,
brownie, sugary.
caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's light. Up front, I get a lot of corn sweetness. Now, let's just look at this guy here, Spirits Lab.
Spirits Lab's bottle looks a
This
lot
is
like
you know what? Funnily enough, I think this is our second New York whiskey. This is a distillery in Newburgh, New York. Newburgh. It's spelled Newburgh. Which is why I'm confused about the pronunciation. Don't know the correct pronunciation. Feel free to comment below. Let us know.
You said it wrong. You
Yeah.
said it wrong. Ah!
Engagement is engagement. You know?
I guess so.
So Spirits Lab Distillery in Newburgh, New York, located in Hudson Valley.
There's some malt in there.
I could see a little bit of malt, but it's. I'm predominantly getting corn on this one, funnily enough.
It's
Really?
Newborough.
Wait, really?
Ooh.
It's like those English things like Yorkshire and
Look at him go. Okay, Anthony.
Let's see.
Man of culture.
it makes no
It's
sense.
Newborough.
That's crazy.
Makes no sense.
Wait. Google says it wrong if that's the case.
They're totally wrong.
Because
Correct
Google
us in the
says
comments.
that it's Newburgh.
It could be.
Newburgh.
Funnily enough, the pronunciation, actually, you're supposed to get rid of the U too. It's Noobrg. Newburgh.
So the thing is, it's in New York, right?
yes.
New York was established by Britain. So it's probably British. But hundreds of years of American idiocracy has now called it Newburgh instead of Newborough. I'm pretty sure there are spellings like that in England, and they're all borough. It's just like people will say Yorkshire. No, it's Yorkshire or Oxfordshire and stuff like that. It's not shire, it's shire, which makes us wonder,
Interesting.
have we been lied to by
Yes.
the lords of the
Many
rings?
Many a time.
Is it the shire, not the shire?
Is it the shirt?
The shirt.
Wow.
Sure.
Hate you.
Is
Sure
it?
it is.
Is
Hate.
it?
Sure
Hate.
It is.
I would not.
Hate.
I hate it too.
Hate. Hate you.
Oh man.
Well, guys, I'm glad to be in good health and rejoined with the three musketeers here. So cheers to episode 46 of the Taphaven podcast.
46. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well done, friends.
What is 46 or 47 a Maker's Mark thing?
47. Maybe we have to get a Maker's Mark 47 for next week
Mm-hmm,
or next episode.
mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, So this
Wow.
now
Very sweet.
it is. I was going to say the same thing. This one is a sweet whiskey. It is a sweet corn.
But immediately
Oh,
very
wow.
peppery right after.
Yeah. I get a lot of corn sweetness and just like you said, pepper, like black pepper,
It's a little two note.
spicy sweetness. It tastes like a red hot without the cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. Hold on.
Dude, little aside. Speaking of sugar and corn and sweetness, I recently was like listening to a podcast where the glucose goddess was being interviewed. And she's pretty interesting because she's a biochemist. She's French.
Okay.
And she's not a person that wants people to change their diet. She loves chocolate cake with a whole bunch of different chocolates on it. Like she loves eating this stuff.
Okay.
But she has like 10 hacks, 4 that are easier to implement, I guess, for people to properly like intake, glucose. So whether that's a muffin or a donut or bread or whatever.
Whiskey.
And it's insane because like apparently there's so many people that, for instance, like not just like diabetes and stuff, but people that don't know that the reason like they can't get pregnant is because of stuff like this. And so she's had so many women that just barely change anything just by doing these 4 hacks, and suddenly they finally got pregnant. And
Really?
it's incredible. Yeah, I was telling my mom about it. She
Weird.
sounds it because my mom brought up like a diet the other day. I was like, oh my god, wait, I think you need to like learn about glucose goddess because this sounds so neat. Like I can remember a couple of the hacks. One is like savory breakfast. Like start savory,
Okay.
start with some protein and fats and stuff like that.
American breakfast is
Mm-hmm.
in
Savory
a
Very
way
sweet, very
AF.
sweet. The second
Really? I
thing,
feel like it's not
Savory
savory.
AF, man. Yeah,
What,
with all the
French
meats
toast,
that.
pancakes.
See, I'm not counting that as American breakfast. You get like one of those,
Okay,
and then
okay.
the rest of it is eggs, bacon, gravy, sausage and gravy.
You know what? That sounds
over
great to me.
biscuits.
But my argument would be that, and I'm not saying this
I
is
might
us.
need more Texas.
I'm just saying that a majority of Americans, I think, are looking for pancakes, French toast, cereal,
That's fair.
those
But-
types of things.
but
That's
to Nat's credit, I think it's not too hard to start with a savory breakfast because most
Yeah.
of those places do have
They usually hit you with the
Ooh.
fucking,
Claire.
the
You're gonna
carb- the
hate
carb
this.
fat.
Smoothies, sweet or
Smoothies?
savory? Sweet or
Claire,
savory?
I'm so sorry, but smoothies are like the biggest lie we've been told.
Dude,
Apparently,
smoothies are a freaking sham, guys.
They-
Yeah,
okay,
Oh,
so
man.
Nat knows. I didn't
Savage.
know.
Savage.
yeah.
Okay.
They're a scam.
Let me ask this though. Let me ask.
Like Smoothie King is not a king. He's a charlatan.
Smoothie King is rough.
No,
but let me-
bro. Okay, continue.
Let
continue.
me ask a simple question, and let me know where this would fall on your gradient. Because if I took 2 bananas,
Mhm.
some protein powder,
Mhm.
and then I took spinach, some other greens like I don't know,
Kale.
yeah, kale,
Mhm.
Lettuce,
lettuce, things like that.
celery juice.
Took it, yeah, celery would be great. And then I blended all that up into a quote unquote smoothie.
Mhm.
And my only added sweetness was the bananas, which I think has like, 11, 12 grams of sugar or something like that per
Mhm.
banana. Right? Sweet or savory?
It's very obviously sweet.
It's still sweet.
You think so?
Yeah.
Also, this wasn't the glucose goddess, but a few weeks ago, I was listening to Jeff Cavalier, and he was pointing out something about bananas and smoothies ruins a smoothie health-wise.
Interesting. I
Bananas?
wonder what it is. Now
I
hate
do wonder. I
bananas,
can't
so
remember what
this
it
is-
is.
Yeah,
this
I'd
is
have
an
to
easy
know.
sell
I'd have
for
to
me.
know something about that because I don't like bananas. Period. Like in smoothies, in anything.
I
just
don't either. I just
Yeah.
know a lot of people do bananas in smoothies, so I was curious about like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I
In
think there's
general-
probably still a way to do a healthy like drink,
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you
but
right
I'm
now,
pretty
I
sure
got
most
it.
of the
I got
ones that you
this.
buy are not.
I got this right here.
Smoothie
So,
King sits on
you
a
start off
throne of lies.
kale, spinach, protein powder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get that mess in there.
Get that mess in there, sir.
Yeah.
Calm,
Get that mess
calm
in
down,
there.
but okay.
Then you take some ice, drop that in. Then you get one of those honey wooden sticks. You dip it in your honey, and then you let that pour out into your smoothie. Just a little bit, just a small little a misting of honey.
Mm-hmm.
Eric,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop you real quick.
Then
No. I'm
wait,
gonna stop.
that's
I'm
the
gonna save you
final- the
time. I'm
final
gonna save you
piece,
time.
the
I'm
final
saving you
piece,
time. I'll
Matt.
give you time for this final piece, but let me give you time. Okay? Let me let
Okay,
you
go.
land with
Go,
a little
go.
bit of guidance. That freaking spoon, that little dollop thing or whatever, is bullshit. Okay?
But
No.
for
Let me
me-
tell you, it's perfect. It's just it takes too long. So let me just tell you what to do instead. Take
Okay,
that
okay.
same tool,
Gotcha.
put in your powder. Go ahead, set it up.
Okay.
Add a divot hole in your powder. Pour the honey into that hole, and you don't have to wait for it to drip off this little spool thing for 5 to 15 minutes. It's just done.
But it's so satisfying to
Shut up,
drip off-
Eric. Shut up, Eric, and just accept the landing gear.
Okay.
Now
okay,
you can
but-
land with your final thing.
Yes. The last ingredient, 3 raw eggs. You whip that
Raw
up.
eggs, like with the yolk and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's
a
trying to
full
offend
nog.
grandmas everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Then a full nog. You were making a vegetable nog.
Sir.
And you whip that up. You whip that up real good until it's got like a milkshake consistency.
A thin frothiness.
Oh my goodness. That's the way, man. That's the way.
So I think the big problem with most smoothies is the glucose spike that it
Mhm.
occurs.
Oh, 100%.
Not enough fiber beforehand. But like if you're very active, like somebody here, I think you're fine to have a smoothie.
yeah.
But yeah,
honestly, when I was doing a lot of research and I was trying to like bulk up a long time ago, one of the biggest problems with like glucose is not the glucose, it's us not like us as a species, like a society, not using the glucose correctly.
How
And
so?
So when you take in sugars, sugar burns really, really quickly. And then a lot of problems happen when you don't use that glucose immediately. And the problem is that glucose like happens real fast, like real fast.
yeah, so that's like one of the hacks, I think, is it one of the top 4? Is that you like have to move for 10 minutes after you eat.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Hack eight. Right?
Yeah, after you eat, move. So the way she did this, she did not like a clinical trial, but she did like a bunch of her people did 1 hack a week for 4 weeks. And that was the one where she got incredible stories out of it. So like the first thing is you just got to eat fiber, protein and fats before your starches and sugars. I don't know if she calls it that here, but there's like a phrase called dress your glucose, I guess, like dress it, which means like clothe it in veggies or something like that, or in fats, or just like don't have it by itself.
Mm.
Right.
That's fair.
Oh, and the stop counting calories thing, I love it. Because it's like, yeah, there's a very big difference between calories from a donut and calories from like an avocado.
Yeah.
It's not going to have the same effect on your body. Like counting calories is kind of silly.
I just try to lean more protein than anything.
That's a
Yeah.
Like whatever the meal is calorie wise, I don't give a fuck. It's always
Apparently-
about just like what's the protein content as compared to everything else.
Yeah. So apparently this vinegar one is so big because it's so easy. You just add a tablespoon of vinegar to some water, and it reduces your glucose spike from your meal by 30%.
That's crazy.
It's just free, easy.
There's your clothes on your carbs hack
Interesting.
there.
Yeah. Put clothes on your carbs. Yeah. Literally anything. Protein, fat, fiber around it will reduce the speed that your body absorbs the glucose. So it reduces the spike.
yeah, the vinegar one's pretty cool.
It is, isn't it? I actually
Right.
put vinegar in my quote unquote smoothie. I started drinking, what is it called? Kefir. So it's like a lassi,
Mm-hmm.
right?
A lassie?
Eric.
Ash had to switch
Oh, she's here.
platforms to come yell at me for veggie nog. What
Oh,
are we talking about,
wow.
Ash?
Y'all, I was
the
on
veggie
YouTube.
nog is peak
Veggie nog.
life.
Does that man said veggie dog?
The veggie nog is peak.
Wait,
Hey,
Ash, was I right?
breakfast in a cup.
She said it's like Edinburgh. Is it Edinburgh? Is it Burrow? Ash,
It's
you're
Edinburgh.
a resident English
Yeah.
expert.
You were the person.
You're supposed to eat fiber, protein, carbs, and I thought eating my veggies first was parent brainwashing. Yeah, I know. What the fuck? You mean veggie nog?
Veggie nog.
What the fuck?
It's like
you
veggie
mean?
nog.
You
Hey,
mean
if
veggie
I mean, look, just because you're of British heritage, that isn't like veggies kissing. It's like a veggie.
That's just snog, Eric. Oh
It's-
my
it's
god.
It's like veggies.
No.
It's just
No.
love in a cup.
Edinburgh. So there's no
Edinburgh.
O.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh?
Edinburgh.
No
no,
burg.
no, gu.
Edinburgh.
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 Like, I'm cold. Burr.
So this
It's
is
cold
from
in here.
where is
Claire,
it?
speaking of parent brainwashing, one of my favorite questions is
that is a topic switch if I've ever heard one. Let's go.
one of my favorite questions is what
Whiplash.
is a lie your parents told you that you believed for way too long? You know,
Oh,
like you
God.
didn't realize it until you were like 20 something that wasn't real. that one
Ooh.
takes some thinking, so we can
Yeah. Think on that one. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
The washing machine doesn't actually wash dishes.
What?
The washing machine does not actually wash dishes. It does, but that's the line that my parents told me.
What? So you had to wash them yourself?
Yeah, I washed them by hand.
Oh, Claire, that's a good one.
It was illegal to
That's
have the
good.
inside lights on in the car. And ah!
That's a good one.
That one too is good.
Wow.
Oh man.
Man.
No, my
a good
dad
one.
convinced us that the washing machine was a scam. That they sold in each house, but it actually doesn't wash dishes.
And he was making you wash the dishes.
Yes. Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes. Yes.
That's priceless. That's priceless.
Yeah,
Dude, I
it's a
don't
good
know
time.
if I have one because I constantly like fought my parents for what they thought was true. They would tell me something, I'd be like, I don't believe you.
So you're just a rebel, Anthony. Is
Yeah.
that what you're trying to tell us?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
just a rebel.
How are we feeling about this bourbon, guys?
Man,
Pretty good.
So it's not bad. I think for me at least, it's a little too heavy on the corn. I would like to see more notes. There's
Mhm.
nothing inherently bad about it. This is a solid. This is one of those whiskeys where the price is really going to determine everything. If this is a nice, affordable whiskey, then this is a great whiskey to go out and get. If it's not affordable, this is not the whiskey to get. You know,
Yeah.
I really hope that we're looking at a super affordable like whiskey here, because I think in that case, it's just solid down the middle. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing bad about it. It's a little heavy on the corn, but it's sweet, hot. It's got, you know,
It's got
it's got the
spice,
whiskey
it's got
notes to it.
chutzpah,
It's got a little bit
it's
of
got
wood
character.
notes to it. Yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, I am interested to see the price on this one because the price could literally be the deciding factor for this whiskey.
Y'all, I was watching the Formula One Drive to Survive documentary that's not a documentary that Netflix has realized, and now they're calling them a Netflix sports series.
Mm-hmm.
And like our favorite driver is gone. He's done.
He's
Sad,
just
sad
done.
day.
He's just out of here.
He shows up to his like sign off interview with a Glencairn.
Nice. Let's go.
And he's like, I'm not racing tomorrow.
perfect.
I'm
What a
washed
way to
up.
end it.
Let's go. He's an Australian.
Nice.
Yeah. Still highly recommend it, especially if you're a nerd, because
Mhm.
Formula One is a science fair. It is 10 NASAs pitting their rockets against each other on a weekly basis. And every
That is
year,
cool.
they have new rules to confine them to very different cars. Might
with
not look different
price
to
points.
us, but they are very different.
Hmm.
And so it is really cool from a nerd perspective of how many, like, it's not just a driver. There's thousands of employees per team. So there's tens of thousands of engineers and just,
Working on the
I
car.
don't know, other jobs, mechanics.
Working on the car. You know.
Yeah.
Future pushing the envelope, as it were.
Yeah. And similarly to NASA, we actually trickle down, get better cars over time with it. That's like
Yeah,
one of
'cause the
their
research.
goals.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
It's the
Yeah.
one time that trickle down research actually affects our day-to-day life.
yeah, like one big one was they used to have no rule regarding like the engine in a way. And they had like 10, like V10, V12, I don't know how big they got. But eventually they're like, okay, well, that's not like most cars. So now you have to do a V6 engine, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that is most cars. And then very recently, like maybe this year or last year, they're like, okay, you're not going to use 3 engines a weekend anymore, one per day. You have to use the same
Wow.
engine the entire weekend. So
Smart.
now y'all have to actually
Efficiency.
have longevity and efficiency and stuff like that. Yeah.
We
So
love
it's
it.
pretty cool. And they're adding like more battery situations. So like there's more hybridness going on.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Bigger batteries, more interesting stuff there. So
Because
It's
the
really cool.
the pickup on a battery powered car is crazy in
like
comparison to
instant.
a combustion engine. It's
Yeah.
like that instantaneous conversion between
mhm.
the stored energy and the actual movement is
I
fascinating.
can't remember who did it. If it was the BMW or the McLaren or new supercars
Mhm.
did that, where it used battery. It had 2 engines,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and there was one engine specifically just to help with the 0 to 60 time,
Mhm.
and they get up and go,
Mhm.
and then it would transition.
Into the other
after that.
engine. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
That's like some anime stuff, man.
Dude,
it's crazy.
If you're ever watching Formula One and you see them suddenly pass someone at like an insane speed,
That's the
It's
other
because-
engine kicking in.
they push a button. Yeah, so that engine is powered by a battery. That battery is recharged when they're braking through regenerative braking.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a big battery like a Tesla.
Yeah.
It's much smaller because they have a lot of weight regulations. And I think literally they have a battery size regulation. But so that gives them extra speed, right? But on top of that, what is it? The spoiler in the back,
Mhm.
that big giant wing,
Yeah.
it will go from being like this to like open.
Oh.
So that
Jeez.
also adds 20 horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, because on a
Just
straight,
gluing
it's like a
gluing
parachute.
the street gluing the
Car to the street.
car to
Yeah.
the floor.
Dude,
Yeah.
Those cars, their downforce is like 3G.
It has
They
to be,
can go
otherwise
in
the
a-
car
they
would
can go
go
upside
the
down.
car is going. It has to be.
They could
because
go
like
Otherwise,
upside
it'll
down.
actually be a rocket. It'll be
anything
NASA
gets under
versus
that
NASA.
thing. If anything gets under that thing, if like it hits any form of bump, it's flying, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's why the crashes for that are always so freaking like aerodynamic,
Crazy.
because you've
Yeah.
literally turned this spaceship to a ground-based vehicle against its will. Like it's like, I
Mhm.
want to fly. It's like, you can't. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, and we're
Yeah.
just gonna have to angle all of your stuff down, okay?
Man,
Yeah,
the
they're
minute you
all a
see one of
reverse
those
wing.
cars like
Yeah.
end over end flying
Yeah,
down
dude.
the strip, you're like, ooh.
Dude,
It's
you know
doing what
that-
it's supposed to.
have y'all seen that halo that they added?
Yeah, I have. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
roll
yeah.
ring, right?
Yeah, so that's saved so many lives already. But the
Yeah.
funny thing is, there was a lot of them that didn't want it. They were like, "No, we don't want this. It's going to ruin
gets-
things."
yeah.
Blah blah
Extra
blah blah
drag.
blah.
Yeah.
Purists.
Then they realized, oh, it adds extra downforce. We can
Yeah.
go faster with this thing, and it's like, then they stopped complaining.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a
also, you
crown,
saved the
of
life
course.
of our driver. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I get to go fast, you know.
Right.
As long as I get to go fast,
The faster the better.
I'm gonna give this a.
Oh, he's going right in. Okay, let's see it.
This is like a 3.5. It's not
Okay.
undrinkable. It's just like, it's very boring. It's 2 notes. It's sweet
yeah.
and then it's spicy.
Yeah.
It's very drinkable.
100%. Yeah, this is a drinkable whiskey. for
It's a
sure.
drinkable whiskey. It's just like, there's nothing to write home about. Like I wish I could speak more about it, but there's like literally nothing. It's sweet at the very beginning with like vanilla and a little bit of maltiness maybe. At the very end, black pepper, then it's done.
What was that?
I don't know if anybody's watching instead of just listening. You may have noticed that I just tried to screw on this cap,
Oh, buddy,
and I just kept trying aimlessly, not knowing what I was doing.
buddy.
This is one of the Christmas gifts that Ash
Yeah.
3D printed for me and the guys. Our Viking helmets. I've started using them to prevent me from mixing up my drinks. Yeah. I guess it's a fun fidget thing.
Yeah, it's got a nice little ring to it as you rotate it around.
Now, your colors look so much better than mine.
What do you mean?
Like when you were holding yours up, like mine, maybe on camera mine looks better, but in real life mine looks kind of faded. Yours looks like bronze, like gold.
Oh, the color off of my helmet.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
coloring looks so much better.
Mine is using the log coloring,
Well,
which is
I
accurate but not as contrasty as Nat's.
I do have an uncle who's a professional filmographer, so I may or may not have taken some notes whenever he told me what to do
Ooh.
with my camera angles and lighting.
Ooh.
It's like
Honestly-
not a big deal. His name is
Not a
he's
big
on
deal.
he's on
I
Twitch
did it.
actually. His name is Sketchflix, so if anybody's interested in like, learning how to draw or anything like that, he's on there.
Tony's the best. I didn't know he did filmography. I knew he drew.
Yeah, it's like how he
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
most
yeah,
of his
that's
money,
what he does.
honestly.
What?
Yeah. Contractually, like that's what he does. He's a freelance a director and
What? He's so cool.
filmographer. He's crazy.
He's a beast.
he's
Tony
a
might
freaking-
be like the second coolest guy I know, next to Nat.
Oh, I'm really not that cool. That's a very low bar for you, my guy. You definitely
you're
need to
like-
put Tony higher than
You're
me.
like Tony's successor, dude. You're like
I am Tony.
you're like
Look,
mini Tony, and so that's why you're better.
Mini
we've had
Tony,
this
yeah.
debate about between me
Mini
and my
T.
uncle.
I know.
I know that he sees himself as proto man. I get that he's like, dude, I'm just going through the garbage and I'm using whatever I can to try and stay ahead. But I'm just telling you guys, he's built different. Like,
I mean, he did move
just
to Japan.
is. He
Like,
he
that
moved
takes
to
a lot.
Japan. He started multiple businesses and is still making enough to like stay in it's like some relatively nice neighborhoods and like take care of himself and still save up for like a wedding and stuff. Like, he's a freaking
Hey,
beast.
that's dope.
He's currently transitioning into like trying to he's trying to create something that's like a little bit more evergreen and a little bit more in line with his passion for like drawing. So if anybody is listening and is interested in furthering their artistic career, I would definitely give Sketchflix a look. His website should already be up, but he's doing a lot of work in terms of just like trying to get people who are just starting their career as creatives on board, like just kind of taking a lot of things that he's learned through the industry and front loading it through the process. So if you're interested, it's there.
Nice.
I do happen to know somebody that might need some Twitch emotes.
That is true. I need to get Twitch emotes. I'm probably going to end up getting to Fiverr, but
Wow, you're gonna
We'll
give it to
see.
Fiverr and not my uncle? You
I'll
garbage!
Give, no, I
You
didn't know he was
absolutely
doing
not.
that.
He's
I'll
not.
give
He's
it.
not.
Dude,
He's not.
Your uncle. I would be honored.
He's
I would.
not.
I would be
not.
honored if he did Twitch
He's
emotes.
not.
We got the Prime subscription.
Who?
Let's
Who?
go.
Who did that?
Who did that?
That was the Boardaman over
Who's
here.
that guy?
Oh, it finally happened. Crazy.
By
Crazy.
the way, this is the first podcast where we have affiliate.
Yo, it says
have
first.
a-
Am I literally the first subscriber?
No, I'm the first.
No,
Eat
Nat
it.
beat you. Nat
Eat
beat you.
It says I'm a
it.
founder.
I am
You
also
are
a
a
founder.
founder.
I am
Dang
the
it.
first founder.
Yeah. It was
I'm too
one of the
slow.
the first
Like, he-
10, I think, get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
founder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He.
yeah.
What was it? Eric was on stream playing
Dude.
a game, and I was like, "Oh, let me go ahead and just sneak in here real quick."
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of
Yeah.
founders, this guy got a founders series card. I'm so jealous.
I did get the founders.
It is a founders card.
5080.
You know how he got it,
I
Nat?
did get the 5080.
Mm-mm, who didn't
We
tell
were
me?
both in line for it. That's how.
Oh wow.
Anytime we are both in line or at a space where there's some luck involved,
He's getting it.
He gets
You
it
can subscribe at. Oh, not on Taphaven. You have to do it on my personal.
on
My
Astolfo.
Yeah, Astolfo is
Yeah,
the only one that
Taphaven
has
is not
affiliate.
affiliated.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on the affiliate for Taphaven too, but that one will probably be much slower. But yeah, first affiliate on Astolfo. Let's go.
Incredible.
So it
Incredible.
told you that Ash and I had a Prime sub,
Yeah.
like
No.
available.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
No,
you were
it tells
just-
you
you were
whenever
just
you
thinking
prime
about it.
sub.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was just It did tell me that you used a Prime sub.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like I can see that you did a Prime and Nat pulled money out of his own pocket to do. No, I'm just kidding.
I did.
He did, but I'm
I
just
did.
kidding with it.
That's what we call dedication.
But
In the
but, yeah,
business.
but yeah, I got the Founders Edition just purely by luck, and it
I wanted
is nice.
a Founders Edition for many years. Never. That's it.
You've never gotten a Founders?
No, dude.
Dude,
I wanted one so
what are you
bad
talking about, Eric?
because
It's
my
hard.
it is hard, Eric.
Well, no. I'm just talking about like I didn't know you didn't get one of the older ones. Like back when we were doing I would say before the 20 series, it was relatively easy to get the Founders back then.
I mean, okay, I wasn't
Good
trying
Yeah.
back then, but my twin, my black belt twin, what is his name, Umbra, on like Twitch.
Oh yeah.
He was the speedrunner.
He does.
Then he got
insane
married.
Speed runs.
No shade.
Got married.
He just actually is just overwhelmed with work. He built like the 2000 and 3000 series
Crazy.
and 4000 and 5000. He's an architect.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's such big brain noise.
Dude. Hey, you make bank at Nvidia too. Like they pay
Mhm.
well.
Anthony, how you feel about this one?
Let me
I would
take another sip.
pay $40 for this.
Daily drinker?
No,
Okay.
no, too boring.
Yeah, that's fair. Anthony, shoot.
Um, it's
It's
decent.
decent.
It's decent.
It's decent.
It's decent. Like, at first I was like, oh, this seems like it's gonna be great, and it's definitely not bad. It's kind of like a 3. Cause yeah, it's a normal bourbon, honestly.
Yeah.
Because of that, I actually wouldn't pay more than like 30, because it tastes just like any cheap bourbon. Not cheap. What's
How
that?
did you get yours?
Soaring Spice.
It is a lost lantern from my birthday because Eric
Oh.
sneaked up on me through my wife
She did text us.
and got me a bourbon.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm going to digest something a little bit more nuanced.
Do you know the trick behind that bourbon?
It's a Frey Ranch.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Frey Ranch.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Sneaky Frey Ranch.
It's a sneaky Frey Ranch. It's a sneaky deaky.
It is a barrel pick Frey Ranch, essentially, from the Lost Lantern team.
Mhm.
They went Frey Ranch and got to pick a blend or barrel that they liked. I can't remember if it's a blend they picked or a barrel that they picked,
It's a barrel.
but
Oh no, it's a blend. It's a blend.
okay.
Yeah, they chose 4 barrels, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They
like
talk
I'm
about it on their thing.
I'm
4
comparing
barrels.
this right now to the default Frey Ranch,
Oh, you're finishing it.
which is also 45%, just like this one. But this is just so much better. And
Yeah,
It's-
that
it really
Frey Ranch
is.
hard to beat.
Frey Ranch isn't that expensive either, right?
It's
like
really, it's
is it like
50
50?
something.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
For a
like
bottle?
50, 60, I think. 50, 60.
I think if you
For
get like
cast strength, yeah.
I think if you get like a bundle, it's 50 per bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 60 by itself.
Are they did they launch anything? Because I mean, they've been quiet for a bit.
They have, well, you know, the releases are usually yearly for most
Shut up,
distilleries,
Eric.
so-
How dare you squish my
I'm just
freaking
saying
hopes?
it's
How could you do that?
understandable if they don't have a new release. Yeah, you know.
Why are you gonna be like that? No, I'm
All the
joking. I'm
time.
joking. No,
Yo,
they
we
haven't-
went
they haven't
to-
released anything.
We went to the local winery that we
No,
took
the
you guys
barley
to.
series is out. The barley series is out, guys.
Barley series?
Are you
Where is
serious?
The barley series is out. The
Where?
barley series. The barley.
How do you find it?
that? Yeah, where is it?
It is.
Buy it. Maybe there's just the buy it button.
They have the single grain series, and then the single grain series, 100% wheat whiskey, 100% barley.
Where do you see this?
There's 375 milliliter bottles.
Is
Yeah, I
this the
see
100
it.
Oh, dude, do you
Oh,
see
they got the
their,
wheat one again.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you see their 150th anniversary one? That's pretty cool.
That's cute.
Wait, is that there too? I only see this weeded one. Isn't that the one that I missed out on? The
I think
100%
so.
wheat,
Yeah.
the silver one.
I don't see
Oh, okay.
which
So there's a
auto
wheat
it is.
one and a barley one. They look
Yeah,
similar.
it's a wheat and a barley.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
shoot.
100% barley.
Yeah.
Okay,
100% wheat,
interesting.
100%
So basically,
barley.
this deal makes it to where what I was holding is $40, because by themselves those are 60 for
Yeah,
a
but,
half.
yeah, but I can't find the one where they pair them up. Like I'm looking
I
at
don't
this right now.
I don't see a pair either.
Yeah.
Y'all don't see the doubles, the flagship bourbon plus 100%.
Oh, but that's the flagship.
Yeah, that's
You were saying there was
I
a
don't
there
want
was
the
a bundle
flagship.
of like the 200%.
I want the uncut.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a good deal
Yeah,
Right?
no, it is a good deal. You're
because
right.
the complete collection
good
is 190, which is
Yeah.
actually more like 60 something each, like 63 each.
Yeah.
So it's like $23 off in that sense.
Fair. Fair.
Ugh.
Guys,
Wait, the wolf
sidetrack.
pack.
Yeah, the wolf. No, don't worry
No,
about it.
that's the
Don't worry.
uncut.
It's just packaging. It's just unpack. It's
Hmm.
just packaging and uncut.
Hmm.
Well, at least I
No.
feel like it's just packaging.
So
I
we're
could
so
be
good at
wrong.
this. I could have been doing this for everybody the whole time.
The
Could
This
have,
is what we're looking at. Sorry.
bruh,
oh yeah, yeah.
bruh.
Here
You
is
can't see it on
the
mine, but
here's the
There
two
it is.
deals. I think that's all they're offering right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but those
Um,
single grain series single bottles, they're interesting. I will say that they go really fast
You had
in
the
terms
weeded,
of like.
they do go.
I had
really
no,
fast.
I had the
the barley.
no malted.
You had the malted. Oh,
Yeah. I had the
the
malted
malted.
ones, and they were
So
really.
jelly.
It was really good. Like it was very grassy. It was very. I felt like a farmhand. It was great.
I felt like a farmhand. Hey.
I'm just like slowly gonna never end up going to a liquor store again.
Yep.
Just always ordering stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
That's the
So-
point. That's what we're here for.
Last thing.
So we do.
Anthony, daily drinker
Mm.
on this one.
Yeah.
Nah.
Really?
I mean, I would drink it. I mean, I don't know.
So-
It's all gone. I can't remember anymore.
Uh,
Goldfish. I am
Goldfish
Jamie.
brain.
So I would say I tend to I'm falling on the same line as you guys, honestly. This is a 3. This is solid. There's nothing crazy about this whiskey, but there's nothing bad about it.
No.
If this were put in front of me at a restaurant, I'd be happy to have this with dinner. If somebody gave me this from their own collection, I'd be like, dude, this is a solid whiskey, man. You
Mhm.
know, like this is just good. This is solid.
It's a good whiskey.
The Spirits Lab, distillery is doing some cool stuff. I'd be totally down to try more of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now the only thing is I'm hoping for price. I would really like to see this under 30. I think under 30, this is a
Competitive.
great pickup.
Yeah.
Great pickup under 30. Now, if you're above 30, I want you to elevate. We gotta add.
You
more.
can't
We
you
gotta
can't
do
come to
more
come
stuff.
to the freaking line of
Yeah.
$40 because then you're competing against things like
The stuff that you're competing against is just hitting too high.
like
The
the
weight
Still
class is just
Austin,
different.
You have Sagamore, you have Powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have so much stuff. So for me, I don't see any problem with this being a daily drinker. Honestly, this could be a daily drinker for me. I'd be totally down for that. If this were just free daily drinker, easy, I would drink this every day. So let's look, because I don't know. I'd like to see this under 30. So I'm going to put 30 as well for me. let's see where this is.
Yeah,
at.
if the price is right, daily drink, yes.
Yeah, and that's how I like to do it. I know Nat is kind of said that the
Finicky.
price is really well, just that the price is a huge thing.
That is,
for you.
yeah.
You know, and I think that's fair. But for me, I'm like, I would like to see it. So I see this right now. 40, 45 seems to be the going price. 45.
I know I said 30. I know I said 40 for my price range. That's going to be a no for me there, boss.
Yeah, I think for 45, it's a lot. There's a lot. Oh, Claire with the Prime subscription. Let's
go.
Bow, bow, bow.
Thank you so much. Everybody's getting the Prime.
Thanks, Claire.
In.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate you here.
That was a pretty good Australian
one of
accent
our
there. But
founders. Yeah.
Not enough cussing.
Not enough.
Not
cussing.
enough cussing.
That's funny.
Absolutely.
God.
But yeah. So this is a solid. Actually, I don't, and I'll say it. This is the kind of whiskey that I love to see in Flaviar. Because I think that solid, if the Flaviar was filled with nothing but threes and just gave me a lot of different options about drinkable whiskeys that are affordable
And
then
scalable.
Flaviar,
Yeah.
that's scalable, then Flaviar is like fitting a wonderful market for where it's at. I think 45 is too high for this whiskey. I'd really like to see it under 30. I understand that that's not realistic for a lot of distilleries just because of the price to get into the market, the price that they have to do to age these whiskeys. It's really high. A lot of these larger whiskey distilleries are able to get their price low because of quantity and volume. And so it's not always fair to say that they would make it, like they might be taking a loss at under 30, but I really would love to see this whiskey under 30 or where it's at.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it on Flaviar and it made me realize that the 5-star system is totally broken. Like,
What do you mean?
it's 4.1 stars on Flaviar, right? But when it comes to star ratings, I'm pretty sure for almost everything that exists, if it's 3 stars or less, you don't want to watch it, you don't want to drink it, you don't want to stay there. It's like, if something isn't at least 4 stars, it's not even on the radar. And so it's like when we say something is like a 3, it's almost like saying it's 4 out of 5 stars, and then everything above that is like a 0.1.
Yeah, I was about
0.2.
to say, like, and I've explained this many a time for my rating system, but my rating system is pretty simple. 1, undrinkable. 2 is I'm never gonna choose to drink this.
That's like 3 stars.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. 3, drinkable whiskey. I'm gonna finish the bottle whenever I have it in front of me.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. 4, 5, and 6 are essentially my like daily drinker. These are my gold standards for different
Like
reasons.
it's hitting something unique enough for you to
it's
speak
hitting.
to it.
Yeah. 7 and 8, these are the solid whiskeys.
Impossible.
Yeah, these are
Well, sorry,
great
7 and 8.
whiskeys.
Yeah, you're great
Yeah.
whiskey. Yeah.
7 and 8 are just great, solid whiskey.
Bow, bow,
Oh,
bow.
Ash with the tier 1. Let's go.
Eric.
Huge thank you to our
already
moderator,
at
by the way.
4 out of the
Our
10.
mouser
Let's go.
over
Eric,
there.
you need the things, man.
I need emotes. I'm working
No,
on them,
not
guys.
emotes.
I'm
You
working.
need the events. Like, if someone raids me, you get a little GIF of a bunch of
That shows
husky
up on
puppies
the
jumping
screen.
over each other, trying to climb in to the room.
So
Like, you gotta have
Gotta
Yes,
give us
I'm
some
the
pizzazz.
event, man.
Some je
I'm
ne sais
working
quoi.
on it.
The
I'm working on
event
all of
thing.
This. I'm working on all of those.
You gotta pay us.
I do have some events for things. Oh, we got a hype train too. That's crazy.
Level 1 hype train. Everyone dump your money.
Wait.
Give
You
it
do
all
need
to
an air
Twitch
horn.
because
You
Eric
do
only
need an
gets
air
half
horn.
of it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I do only get that. The rest is Twitch. But thank you for supporting me. And the Taphaven podcast, because that's essentially what this is all going to go towards. It's buying whiskey and making the podcast better. So, but
Guys, we have 3 minutes and
Yeah.
20 seconds to get to level 2 hype train.
Level 2 hype train. Get to level 2 hype train.
Oh wait, do I have bits?
Do it. Put it.
do I have bits?
Give me the bits.
I have bits.
But yeah,
Do I have
just to
bits?
top it off, the 9s and 10s are like unicorn whiskeys. If you're a 9 or 10 whiskey out of 10 whiskey for me, you are like in my top 25 whiskeys, and that constantly changes. Oh yes, my favorite emote is the
Oh my god.
what is that? Cox bounce?
The
No.
Cox shake,
Oh, that's right. The Cox shake. Love it. Love
bruh.
it. Best emotes. Ash, by the way, if you want to do emotes, I will pay you. Just putting it out there. Just let me know.
Wow.
Just let me know.
It
I
really
will
is
pay
that
you for
easy.
emotes. 'Cause I'd rather go to you or somebody else than Fiverr for sure. So,
For sure.
but I guess this is a good moment. So to kind of like wrap this up, because I got to go and just talk about my experience a little bit. What is that?
What is what?
Whatever
Oh
you
my
just
God.
did.
What?
Oh, dang it. I spent my bits on a message effect
You
and I got
did.
the 1 bits badge, but it didn't help the hype train.
Oh,
can't
that's
How do I
unfortunate.
how do I
bits.
throw
How do I
bits at
That's
you?
unfortunate. How do I throw bits at you?
How do I throw bits at you? Eric, do something worth bits.
How do I spin
I
bits?
don't know. Let me tell my story. Let me tell my story.
No,
bits
we must keep
for
the hype
story.
train going.
I'm trying to get the hype train going. The hype train is a story. So this last weekend, I got to go to the largest whiskey collection in the East Coast. And so a huge shout out to Mike and the team, by the way, at they have a podcast actually called Sips, Studs, and Smokes. They're one of the largest whiskey podcasts. They are pretty much what we are trying to accomplish here, is to become something like this. And they have one of the largest whiskey collections on the East Coast. And so Mike actually brought us through, and we got to try out 8 to 10 different whiskeys at the Whiskey World or whatever it's called. Now, this was such an interesting experience. So we go into Nashville, right? And they give us like a message and they say, hey, look, you can take pictures, you can take videos, all this stuff inside of the building. Do not take videos or pictures of the outside of this building.
Oh,
Wait, what? Why?
serious.
So I'll tell you, because when we go up, we're like, what is this place? We're like, what is this? Are we in the right spot? Because there's no signage, there's no nothing, there's nothing. And they want it that way because they want to hide in plain sight.
Hold on, let me go ahead and.
So I'm not going to give any details about where this is, or anything like that. But we get there and we have to like ring a doorbell, and then Mike comes up to the door and he's like, "Who are y'all?" Because they have like hundreds of thousands of dollars of whiskey inside of what otherwise looks
He used
like
like some whiskey
a
rustlers.
random department store building,
Yeah.
like just ridiculous. So we go in and you go into this foray, and inside of this foray is a collection of decanters. So the waiting area is just impossible to find decanters, which, by the way, for the
flex.
oldest whiskeys, before they started bottling, they would do decanters for all of their whiskeys. So like you go to the store and you wouldn't buy a whiskey, you'd
You
buy
take
a
your decanter. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they had all of these interesting, weird decanters. Like they were crazy. There were like political ones, there were bottles, there were all kinds of stuff.
Awkward.
He says, here, try this random whiskey. And it was a whiskey funnily enough, from Memphis, Tennessee, the same spot as Blue Note is from,
Oh.
that we tried last week. And they actually had some Blue Note there in the whiskey house that I saw. They had us try this whiskey, and he was like, "Wait here. I'm gonna prep the room, and then I'll come get y'all." So we get to go around, listen to a little YouTube video that he sent us about all the decanters. It explains some of the decanters, some really cool stories. Then we walk back, and once you walk into the back, I want you to just picture a regular house with like 5 or 6 rooms, and then shove as many bottles as physically possible inside of every room.
And inside of every room, or just like in the living space?
Everywhere. The hallway was called their kitchen. They called it the kitchen. And the hallway, you could just grab whiskeys off the wall and drink them. Because so many people come in and they're like, "Hey, can I just drink some of the whiskey?" They were like, "We're tired of answering which whiskeys you can drink. If it's in the kitchen, you can drink it. Just ask for a glass. Tell us what bottle you want out of the hallway. You can have it." And so they're just ceiling to floor, like 5 bottles deep on each side.
You're just gonna die.
They were like, "Just whatever you want. That's the kitchen. These whiskeys don't matter. They're not the crazy whiskeys. You can just have them." Right. And then they have essentially 5 or 6 different rooms. So one of the rooms, you go to the right, and every single room is a speakeasy bar type of feeling. You know, it's like a giant wooden table in the middle with whiskey just lining the walls. So one of their rooms was kind of the everything collection, the American whiskey collection.
Okay.
And you go in, it has like barrel, it has, you know, it has just everything. It has Angel's Envy, it has Kentucky bourbons, it has everything. And he goes in and he talks and he gives us another whiskey. And then we can move to the next room, and he's like, "This is the old room." And it has a jug. And this was such a cool story. They found a series of jugs. Before decanters, people used to have their own jug
With
from
3 X's
the
on it.
market. I shit you not.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've
They
seen
would
those.
take that jug and they would refill them at gas stations where they would get their local whiskey. And back then, there weren't whiskey distilleries. They would call the whiskeys by their area. So it'd be like the Silicon Valley mash. And it would be every distillery in the Silicon Valley would ship it over that line, and you'd fill up from that. And all of them would do the same type of whiskey. Or you'd have the Memphis line, or you'd have the Louisville line, right? And it would just be a style. And you'd fill up your jug and you'd get it. And one of the most disgusting whiskeys he ever had, they got a jug that still had liquid in it from like 200 years ago. And so he was telling us a story, and him and the other founder looked at each other, and he was like, "What do you think it'll taste like?"
Oh, no.
And he was like, "I don't know if we want to do this." And they like pour a little bit, and it's like cloudy.
No.
And he was like, "Well, bottoms up." And they drank that shit.
Oh
like,
my God.
They full on. They tried it. He said it
went
was
blind.
like the worst. They
Went blind.
No, they didn't go blind, but he said it was really bad. So then we walk back, and there's like another hallway with whiskey from ceiling to floor, all the way up and down. And they had like an international room, like with all the international whiskeys. And then we get into the living room. And the living room is what he likes to call the picture room. Because if you look up the whiskey house, like if you go into Google and look up the whiskey house, most of the pictures taken are of
The living room.
the living room. And the living room has essentially this giant wraparound couch, and all along the bars, I'll see if I can actually find that. Oh, here we go. This is the room. So I'll send it to you on the moderator chat so you can see it. Oh my gosh, that did not. No. That didn't actually send the picture. 1 second. Let me actually send you the picture. Yeah, this is it. The second link is the one. So this room right here is essentially their expensive room. They have one of the
Are
largest.
we allowed to share this?
Yeah. You could share this.
Share the screen, Anthony.
Yeah. They won't be able to find it. It's like
Share the
that.
screen.
They've actually changed it a little bit. They've put a couch in it. Oh, here's an. Oh, this doesn't have a full. Oh, it does kind of have a full. So they put in this new. They put in a new couch since that one, so that table's not in there, but it's essentially the same room. So now it looks more like this with that couch in there. But this room, everybody takes the pictures in it. This is where all the B-tack is. This is where their Willet collection is. They have the largest Willet collection in the world.
Jesus.
So they have their most expensive whiskey is like a $50,000 Willet.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
$50,000?
Yeah, it's like crazy. It's like crazy.
They must love the Willet.
So their founder, his favorite whiskey is the Willet. And that's what's on the back. So you see this picture that you're looking at now, Anthony, these white label bottles in the back, those are all Willet. And Willet is a single barrel distillery. So every single release that they do is just single barrels. They don't do anything else essentially. And so when you find a label that looks like that, they call them the Willet Purple Tops. They're single barrels. And so they're all unique. They're all different. They all have different specialties to them, everything. And so they're really prized collection. But the cool thing is we got to try a few different whiskeys. So we started off, interestingly enough, it was, let me pull up my pictures here so I don't get the ordering wrong. So
Because he took pictures.
Oh yeah. I took some pictures, man. I took some pictures. This is a cool little collection. So we started off with a Weller 12-year. So the Weller 12-year was our first tasting, which is pretty good. I've had a Weller 12-year. Funnily enough, Anthony's had a Weller 12-year. We actually had it at actually, Nat, you had a Weller 12-year because that's what we had at the carriage house together when you told me to choose a whiskey. The Weller 12-year is a great solid whiskey. It's a little bit too pricey, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
Then we got to try a very special single edition of the Jack Daniel's single barrel special release. Essentially, Jack Daniel's had a distillery that burned down, and they were able to get some of the whiskeys and recover it. And so we got to try that, and that was amazing. Then we got to try a Michter's 10-year straight rye, which, by the way, we had at the Michter's distillery. Funnily enough,
Did we like it?
y'all did not like it.
Ah!
It was one of the ryes that we really didn't think was that good.
Michter's was well, it wasn't their distillery, right? It was just their bar.
Tasting room bar.
They had a
Tastes
bar
like
at the
tar,
top.
right?
Yeah, it has like a little bit of a tar flavor. It's a little thicker, sweet.
You had a different flight than we did. at
I
Michter's.
did.
Yeah,
but
our
we-
flight was butt.
Yes, but we both had the 10-year rye on ours. That was one we shared.
Monkey butt.
It was
Yeah.
monkey butt.
So then we got to try a Willet 11-year, which was really, really good. We got to try an 11-year bourbon and a Willet 8-year rye. But there was one other whiskey in this flight. Now, all of these whiskeys are fairly expensive. So all of these whiskeys were 100 plus, like hundreds of dollars of whiskey, and we got to try all of them, which was really, really cool. So we ended up, one of the whiskeys that we were able to try was a Nika 17 year.
Ooh.
And I shit you not,
You actually pooped your pants.
that was the best whiskey that we had. 100%. It wasn't even close.
17-year-old Nika. That sounds incredible.
Dude,
that was buttery as hell.
The 17-year Nika is probably up there in my top 3 whiskeys of all time now.
Are they the ones that do like the
Wow.
coffee one?
They are the ones that
they
do
are.
the
That's
coffee
still,
grade.
yeah.
Now this one is different though. This isn't done in the same way as the coffee still. But I am going to 100% buy the Nika 17 this year. So we are going to get to try that on the podcast because I want to try it with you.
Ooh.
That is easily top 3 whiskeys of all time for me. It was absolutely wonderful. It was worth the trip, honestly, just for the Nika.
Just
17.
for the Nika.
It's a malt.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a malted malt whiskey. It's a pure
Dude,
malt.
we love a malt, don't we, Anthony?
So
And it's amazing. It is amazing.
is this so? This seems like it's one of those things that you need to tell me when it starts hitting shelves, because my alcohol beverage stores are government controlled.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't
So-
know what they can price this down to.
So MSRP for this is $500, I believe.
Okay, yeah, because I see it for 680 online.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I feedback was coming from my speakers. My bad. Go ahead.
I didn't notice it.
So
That's really cool.
that whiskey was amazing. Now, I'll tell you 2 funny stories. So, this guy had this weird machine. I don't even know how to explain it. This was such a weird machine. You essentially pour whiskey into it, and it looks like a little cup, right? And then it has a button on top, and then a little spout. And when you press the button, whiskey shoots out. Crazy. So he used this little machine, and he went around and he essentially blop, blop, blop into everybody's tasting glass. So we had 3 tasting glasses. Why he did 3, I do not know. They have 500 Glencairns. Why not just do 9 Glencairns
No.
for the whiskeys that we're going to try and call
No.
it a day? I don't
No.
know why he didn't do that.
Too much washing.
Whatever. That's fine. He still had to wash like 50 glasses.
No.
I don't know.
No.
So-
you don't understand, obviously.
He had 3 tasting glasses for everybody. He goes through and he says, hey, once you finish your thing, you can wash out your glasses in between each one, and we'll do flights of 3. So we ended up doing 9 whiskeys. So I finished the-
Wait.
we'll get to it. We'll explain.
Wait.
We'll explain.
Bro got
Don't worry.
sloshed.
Don't worry.
Bro
Don't
got
worry. Don't worry.
Smash, because I'm on like shot 2
I'll
of
t- I'll-
this.
look,
Bro.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. If Wharf Jig, if you're in the chat, you can feel free to tell them the problems that we're gonna talk about in just a second.
I will call out our resident lurker, the awesome hippie.
Oh, it's Techno Hippie in the chat, man. Guys, amazing.
Miss him.
Yeah.
Miss him so much.
So he goes through and he does this little button thing and he presses it in. Now this button, it might put 5 milliliters in a glass.
Might meaning like it's under, or might meaning it's over?
Might as in, man, there was not a lot of fucking whiskey in these tastings.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So, and Wharfjig, who is in the chat, is actually one of the guys. I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but I know he watches. He's subscribed, or not subscribed. But he was watching the other day, so I know he's around sometimes. But he put in a lot of money for this. He donated to charity to make sure that this kind of worked out. So he was like, we got in the car, and he was like, I didn't get a lot of whiskey in my tasting. Did y'all get a lot of whiskey in your tasting?
Oh no.
Yeah, so I felt kind of bad for that. These were amazing whiskeys. They're obviously very expensive, so they're obviously trying to like not give you like 15 shots, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time, they were a little stingy.
And you paid for it, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's very weird. My only complaint, if you ever watch this, by the way, like Mike's living the good life, man. He sold a wine collection for millions of dollars. He owns co-owns one of the largest whiskey. The guy's doing good in life. He won't care.
He's doing all right.
Yeah. But my only thing is, if you ever have the Taphaven pod, let us have like 2 ounces, man. Come on, please, 2 ounces.
Dude, we'll figure it out. You know?
We'll figure it out. We don't want to steal the whiskey from you, but 2 ounces, come on. So
Who else is gonna drink it
yeah,
and enjoy
So-
it and tell the
so-
people about it?
exactly. So we end up and doing the thing, and I will say, my lovely wife saved the day for me. So we go in, and he's like, "Hey, pour some water in your glass, swish it out, and then pour it out, and clean your glass in between the tasting." So I tried the first 3 whiskeys, and they're an abysmally small amount, and I'm like, they were good. They were great whiskeys. So we go to the second one, and I'm like, I gotta clean my glass. I pour in some water. And then somebody asked me a question. I'm like, I'll go. I think it was a good friend of ours who we had just met on this trip, and we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, you're the whiskey guy. Come answer me. Like, what is this whiskey? Like, what?" So I'm answering some questions, and I go back to the table, and my glasses are empty, and the rest of them are already filled with whiskey. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, Mike, I think you forgot my glass." And he was like, "Oh, yeah. I'm gonna get you your whiskey. I did the thing, and I didn't notice you had water in your glass, so we had to empty the glass, and so I put it in." So he came over with the bottles, and he freehand poured my second 3 shots. My guy, Mike, you killed it on the Nika 17, man. You gave me a nice 2 ounces. I was real happy about that. And look, if you want me to pay you back for that, I will at some point in time later in life. But for that
Later in
particular
life.
one,
Not now.
but later.
Maybe
in
not
life.
even this life. Like maybe
Yeah. Maybe
5
next life.
lifetimes
Maybe
from
the
now.
next, you know? Maybe
But yes,
next.
so my favorite
What a
whiskey of the
butterfly.
entire tasting, and I got a nice 2 ounce pour of it, and everybody else got like this little tiny amount. But I will
Such a
say,
baby amount. Oh my god.
I know it was.
Is it even
was
enough for like how many sips?
1 cent,
One.
easy 1
So
cent.
that's not enough.
I agree.
You literally have to do a minimum of 2. We learned at the Learning Museum
Hey.
of Learning,
I agree.
Museum.
Now,
where Nat met his first love.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
The
Don't
new riff.
speak of me. Don't
new
speak
riff.
to me about my first love. Oh my God!
So that second flight, I got really good. I got a really nice thing, and we got to try. That was actually the 2 Willets and the Nika 17. So that was a phenomenal flight to go on. Then after we finished those, he tells us something that I wasn't expecting. He goes, "Okay, for this last tasting, go find whatever you want in the whiskey house."
No, in the
Not
whiskey
not
house,
just in the kitchen.
everywhere.
Or
Anywhere.
sorry.
Not just in the kitchen, anywhere. He
Okay.
said,
No, that's
as
a
long
problem.
as long as we have enough of it, you can do it.
This is
So
that's
you
one of
went
those
to the-
moments.
you went to the Willet and you found the $50,000 bottle, right?
So I did not, and there was a reason for this.
Okay.
So the Willets in general, I'm not a big Willet fan. Willet's
Okay.
great. I love Willets. They're really good. I'm not going to bash the Willets, but they tend to, in my opinion, they tend to be very overinflated in price for like what you're paying.
Okay.
They're not as good as other things that are much, much cheaper.
it's a $50,000 label, Eric.
Yes.
It's a $50,000 label, Eric.
I
You
wasn't.
never
Oh,
spent $50,000 on a bottle.
by the way, I wasn't going to be able to get that one. There was no way he was. Gonna
Okay,
give
I
me
was
that
about to say, I was like, that's not even
So-
on the floor.
So I really wanted to get something. So I talked to the guy and I was like, I want to try something because there are all these expensive whiskeys, but they're like the BTAC. They're like the Eagle Rare 24. And my the guy that I was there with who invited me, he was going to try the very rare Eagle Rare. And I was like, oh, if he tries that and he really likes it, I'll talk to him about it. But he was talking to the guy, and the guy was like, you know what? It's really not that much better than the 17 for the BTAC. So like if you're gonna do it, the BTAC's really honestly better because they just
BTAC.
aged the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection,
Oh,
the
okay.
Eagle Rare 17. He was like, that's the sweet spot for Eagle Rare. Anything above that, and it just doesn't taste as good. It's overaged. And he was like, it costs like way more, but He's like, it's not worth it. So I was like, okay. There are two things I want. I want something that's good. And
obviously.
I want something that I can only have here. And so I tried to think of something, and I'm like, what can I have? And there were thousands of options. I mean, there are tens of thousands of bottles
in
this
that
place,
room. Yeah.
in this place.
In this house.
So finally, I settled on
So-
the Four Roses
Oh.
135th anniversary bottle.
Oh.
Yeah.
100 and what?
35th?
135th anniversary bottle.
What are they
Which
on
is-
right now?
So
That was a special release. That was just a special release that they did for 135 years. I
Eric-
think they do every 5 years.
Oh.
if I was there with you for that situation, I would have grabbed my bottle real quick and then I would have gone to the kitchen, okay? And I would have
Okay.
stood at the entrance to the kitchen thinking
Okay.
about this and my opportunity. Did you? Oh wait, can you see?
Today is slap an idiot day.
Because somebody, I feel like somebody I know, maybe myself, would go to the kitchen.
That's fair. That's fair.
Wait, what are you doing? No.
Get outta
Put
here.
that down. Put that down.
So I will say I did love it. We had a guy who was with us who we had a few people who like didn't drink a lot of whiskey. Funnily enough, they were kind of just there because they're good friends. And one of the guys actually ended up choosing Kentucky Owl. And it was a good release of the Kentucky Owl because Kentucky Owl is a little interesting. They had 2 releases that were really, really good. And then they kind of got bought out. And then the rest of their releases have been mediocre at best. And he got one of the first 2 releases, which is really hard to find. But like he didn't, that isn't like a crazy expensive bottle. It's just hard to find. And it's pretty affordable. If you want to get it, you'll get it. But it was very interesting because he found it was really cool to see somebody who isn't really into the whiskey world go through, find this one bottle and try something that none of us would have picked who were really into whiskey. So he was like, is this a good bottle? We were like, dude, if that's the bottle you want to try, like, this is it.
Just
This is
buy
what
it.
it means. This is what it means to be a whiskey guy.
Yeah.
Like, try the stuff you want to try. Try out stuff. Like, if
Fuck
that's
the
the bottle you
haters.
want to pick, fuck it. Yeah. Like, go try that. We'll get you the rest of it. Like,
And if somebody slaps you, slap them back.
exactly.
You just
So-
keep slapping until they stop slapping you back.
So yeah, I got to try the 135th anniversary edition of the Four Roses, which is really, really hard to find. And it is really good. The only thing that I would say about it is that it's about on par with the Four Roses that I had y'all try on
Oh.
the holiday, the Christmas, not the Christmas special, the
Honestly,
New Year's special.
Of those 3 bangers, it was the least of the 3.
I
so,
mean, yeah,
understandable.
comparatively to like the Thomas H. Handy and stuff like that.
Thomas H.
Man, Thomas H. Handy's pretty good, man.
Bro.
Now, but yeah, there were a lot of really good. So everybody went and chose their whiskey, and of course, everybody kind of doubled up. Everybody was with somebody that like did a thing. So B, my wife, of course, was like, "What do I pick that you want to try?" And so
Is he hand pouring for these picks?
he did hand pour for these picks.
Ooh.
So we did get a good pour of this. And that
Okay,
was
okay,
something that I was really happy about. The one thing that we got to choose, he did hand pour, and that was really nice. Shout out to Mike for that. I would have been kind of sad if that one wasn't a hand pour.
If it wasn't a hand pour, I would have been like, yeah, a little butthurt about it.
Yeah, but it would have been really hard to use the machine because he had to clean the machine every time.
Yeah,
Right.
no, fuck that.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? We aren't going to be able to try it very often. I saw that they had Yamazaki 18.
Ooh, a Yamazaki, dude. You and the Japanese whiskeys, man. I mean, like, I like them too,
Dude,
but still,
I love it.
The
They're one of my
18
favorite
year,
whiskeys.
though.
The
Ooh.
18 year. And he literally looked at us and he was like, I don't know about that one. Let me check how much I have.
Ooh,
Because that's one that he likes to drink on a regular basis. So he goes and he checks and he's like, we have enough. And he pours it for. So I got to try the Nika 17, the Yamazaki 18, the 135-year anniversary of the Four Roses release, and
Some bangers, man.
some bangers. And all three of them were phenomenal whiskeys. The Willet 11 year was amazing. But I will say, the Nika 17,
Top 3.
no cap. It was just
Wow. I'm gonna have to
No
get another.
diftum.
I'm gonna have
No
to get
diftum.
another coffee still Nika then,
dude.
because it's
the,
fantastic.
the Nika 17 knocked him out of the park. I'm gonna buy that one. We are gonna do a podcast episode on it. It is, and here's the funny thing: the Nika 17 was all 10 people that we were with. They chose it as the best whiskey they had the entire night.
Wow.
10 people, unanimous vote. It was the best whiskey of the night.
Wow.
Some of those people didn't even like whiskey, and they said it was the best one of the night. So it's great. It's a great whiskey. So I'm excited to bring that one to the podcast. I am going to buy it sometime this year. That's going to be I usually make one big whiskey purchase every year that I kind of like put some money into. So that'll be it for this year. I'm going to get the Nika 17.
Is
So
it cheaper in Japan or more expensive in Japan?
It's more expensive in Japan usually. So getting it in Japan is usually not the way. So there are some things you want to buy in Japan, but the Japanese whiskeys usually aren't one of them.
Okay.
Usually when you go to Japan, what you're actually looking for are the distilleries that are in Scotland or America that are shipping to Japan special releases that only Japan gets.
Got it. Because
Yeah.
I'm looking at this bottle. I'm like, okay, imported to San Francisco, California.
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
a lot of the Nika stuff is actually cheaper to get outside of Japan.
Damn.
From what I've heard. I obviously haven't been to Japan yet, but I'll be. But yeah, that was the whiskey house. Again, huge shout out to Sip Suds and Smokes. Go check out their podcast. Hopefully Mike will have the Taphaven podcast on at some point, and we could do some podcast collab. That'd be amazing. But yeah, that was it. That was my visit to the whiskey house.
Sorry if anybody heard some. Oh, maybe they didn't actually. Oh no, I haven't muted. Cool. I was accidentally in a Discord this whole time.
Wow.
Muted though. I guess I hit the right keyboard shortcut to unmute, and I heard some voices in my head. I go and see it, and the name. They renamed the voice chat to Boardman Learn to Disconnect, and the
Wow.
topic was mining Boardman's dreams.
That's funny.
You're an actual.
Apparently, I
cryptid
was
now.
muted and deafened for the past 24 hours.
That's
Bro.
funny. That's funny.
Bro.
Too funny. Man, so speaking of Discord, what have y'all been playing?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
would
what
you
have
like
I
to
been
go first?
Am I the
Because we're
only
gonna-
one that has been playing what y'all have been playing?
I think we're just going to talk about one game, which is also the title.
Oh God.
Is Monster
Okay, so
Hunter
then-
better than this whiskey?
Wait, then
No.
maybe I go first because I haven't
Yeah,
played Monster Hunter
Anthony,
at all.
you haven't played Monster Hunter at all. How do you feel about
Pl-
the game? How
Wait,
are
wait,
you
no,
feeling?
wait.
Okay.
We're gonna
okay.
come back to Monster Hunter because I haven't been playing it.
God.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Shoot.
Okay.
So very briefly, we're not gonna talk about Star Citizen
Okay.
because maybe
Okay.
we're gonna have a special episode this month where at least Astolfo, Eric, aka
Nice. Yeah.
perhaps Naticus,
Perhaps.
aka Nat, joins me to experience the monthly content patches. I will slightly hype up next month. I will de-hype this month. I'm not really sure about this month.
De-hype this
Next month, Orbital Laser.
Hmm.
Orbital Laser.
Sounds
Are we talking
very-
like Death Star? type
Bro,
of game?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I have seen images. I am a little hyped. Also, the first Alien for like alien missions, and maybe just maybe
Facehuggers, man.
you can unlock like a capital ship over time. But for all we know, he's actually just gonna give you like a toy model of the capital ship.
That's fucked.
So who knows? Who knows if you're actually gonna build a proper ship? But I did get to play. I played a few games. Played some Played Up, which is a fantastic game. Way better
Played
than
Up's really good, better than Overcooked. Yes.
way better than Overcooked. It's so great.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
big must play roguelite restaurant simulator situation. Really cool. Great party game. I was playing with my mom, or I played with my sister and my wife, and then I played with my mom like a night or two ago. And at one point, I was just screaming, like, "You're fired! You're fired! Like, I can't do this with you anymore."
Wow.
Like, of course, I was being comical and silly about
Yeah,
it.
but you were serious though.
Cause like I kept telling her, I was like, "Do not put the steak on the frickin' oven before we have an order." You know, like she kept on cooking steaks ahead of time and then plating them, and you have to throw it away. I was like, "Stop!" Oh, but man, making pizza in that game is like the best one, and making coffee is silly. It's like
I
it's like
love making
Starbucks.
coffee though.
I-
Like
I-
in real life, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah. I was a little. I kind of wish it was more like making a Chemex, but it was literally like go up to the Starbucks machine and push a button.
Anthony, you should buy a coffee machine for your house so that when I visit, I just make you guys coffee.
I have. Wait,
You
what are you
have
talking
an
about? I made
espresso,
y'all
right?
coffee
No,
the whole time.
no, an espresso machine.
Okay, now time out.
Hmm.
I have an espresso maker thing, but
An
it's
espresso machine.
it's an Italian one. It's like made in Italy.
That's a coffee. That's for coffee.
No. It's What do you
No,
call
sorry,
them? It's
sorry.
the metal one.
It is for
Or it does the
espresso.
reverse
You're right,
osmosis thing.
You're right.
That's for
It is
that's
an
for
Italian
espresso.
coffee still, which makes like espresso.
Yeah. I know it's not
I'm
as much
talking-
pressure, but it still works.
It's not I was gonna say that. Yeah, it's not a
They do like
pressurized.
3.5 bars or something like that.
Yeah, it's not a pressurized vestibule,
Yeah.
or whatever that would be called.
Yeah, I don't have enough counter space. I'd have to like build out the
It's a lot.
closet before
is
we
a
can
lot.
actually start adding on stuff.
Yeah, because then you have to
Um,
give me like a full syrup bar. You have to give me room to use the steaming wand.
Yeah.
I'd have to have at least like 3 rags for the day. You know.
You
it's
know,
just, like,
I
that type of
discovered with my hand problems that coffee is really good for you when there's nothing in it but coffee.
thing. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
doctor recommends 4 cups a day. If you
4 cups
if you have gout,
of
it's not that
drip
much.
coffee.
Yeah.
For
It's really not
gout?
that much coffee.
I know that espresso
That's
doesn't have a lot of
espresso.
like caffeine.
Espresso has a lot of caffeine. It's the concentrated version of coffee. Coffee, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have a little bit more of a diluted version of coffee because it's
but
less steep.
but they-
it's less pressurized steep time.
Let's see.
Okay, so other game.
Yeah.
So my sister visited this past weekend, and my nephew was there, and her boyfriend was there, and because of the dudes, he ended up playing with the racing rig that I have, right?
Okay.
That's like hooked up to the Xbox. So that was really cool. The first game I booted up was Formula One. And that game works really well with the racing sim. It's
Mhm.
really, really hard, but it works really well. He tried that, and then he immediately went to like Dirt. He was doing pretty good with Dirt, but then he went to Forza 5. And Forza 5 is pretty interesting. I've only really played Forza 4, so I was playing it for the first time when I took my turns, and
Took your
it is
turns.
probably
Oh
the
my
worst racing
God.
game I have ever played
Forza?
in my entire life.
It's like the industry standard for
No.
For fuckboys.
No. For what?
For oh.
Beep. That's our one. Beep. Sorry, Eric.
Sorry, Eric. I know that you're affiliated. I need to really polish up my choice of verbs.
So
As long as that's not in the first 10 minutes.
Fair.
So I must say that I had a great time ish in Forza 4. The coolest part was that it was based in England. And at one point in time, I'm driving around and my wife is like, wait, you're in like Edinburgh. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I've been there. Wait, go this way. Turn there. There should be a castle around the corner. Boom, castle. She was right.
Said this?
Yes. She was like, there should be a castle up that drive. She was right. I go up to the castle. You can buy it. I couldn't afford it, but it could be your house. And that was really cool. It was a great setting and stuff like that. But then Forza 5 comes out, I was never too drawn to it. It's like in Mexico. They're starting off in the desert. I'm like, I'm sorry, but like if I'm gonna play a video game, what is with people in deserts? Why do people live in deserts?
They
It-
don't.
It is not appealing. It's not a beach, man. It's a desert.
It's the opposite of a desert.
It's where things go to die. Like it's not good.
It's an elephant graveyard.
Yes. But dude, I start up the game and it is one of those horrible moments where you can't skip anything, you can't pause anything, you are along for the ride. And it was some of the cringiest, most boring, most long crap I've ever had to sit through. And then eventually the game crashes and I have to do it all again.
Oh.
On an Xbox. A new Xbox, not an old Xbox.
Okay, so like
The modern Xbox.
So a little bit of a faster faster loading screen.
Yeah, it's got faster loading because it's got like the SSDs and stuff like that. But it shouldn't have crashed. It's not like it's old hardware.
Yeah.
It's the new hardware. And so I was just like flabbergasted. I had to sit through this crap again. And dude, it was just the cringiest stuff I've ever seen. Like one of the things I liked in Forza 4 is I was able to buy and drive my old RX-8. And that's really cool. But like that's where the cool factor ends, right there. You know?
Literally it's just there.
The game is such an arcade. Like they drop you out of a freaking aircraft carrier and parachute you down, and then you're driving through dirt in the desert, going downhill, and I'm using the steering wheel, and it's like constantly just sliding side to side. Like there is no control whatsoever. It was the worst experience ever. You go into a game like Formula One, and you, by default, I didn't even have to choose this, but if you go and look at it, they have all of the major different steering wheel setups and steering wheels so that they can, by default, know exactly how to set you up.
One of them is actually like aligned with a professional's mindset, while the other one is more so
it's made for controller.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, dude, it was weird. And it reminds me, there was like a really good YouTube short. What do you call a short that's longer than 1 minute? Because they're not shorts anymore.
Well, they increased the time now.
Clip.
They increased it to 3 minutes, which I don't
Clip.
mind. It's just, it's completely different.
I just hate the reason they did that. I think they did that for a reason. We can talk.
Yeah. But dude, there's this great short that I was served up where a dude's like, they don't make racing games like they used to. They all suck. Back in the day, you'd be driving around and you would feel like you're going fast. You would feel so fast and epic and cool. And now you don't feel fast at all. Oh, you're going 200 miles an hour? It feels like you're going 15. Like it's, they have gone down the crapper, at least in the arcade sense. The Sims are really good, but the arcade games, they're not arcades anymore.
They're not
But yeah.
arcade games.
Thanks for attending my TED Talk. That's Forza 5 and why you should never play it again. Or ever.
Heard, dude. Heard, Jeff.
Luckily, it's on Game Pass, so I didn't have to like buy it. But yeah. So Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter broke my hand.
I heard. I'm so sorry.
Because I overused my forefinger.
So were you using focus mode too much?
I squeeze things too hard.
I did have to change the focus mode though for mine.
Yeah, you should definitely turn that to toggle.
So like you see this is my joystick that you might have looked at a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
You see the top trigger here?
Yeah.
The guy who makes my joystick layout, his name is Subliminal. Cool dude. He puts that as the brake, as space brake. So I would grab and squeeze that to death. I broke it eventually. But luckily, VKB is so awesome that they sent me a bunch of replacements for free because they were like, he's going to break it again.
Sick.
Now I remap it. But yeah, I don't know why, but I death grip
squeeze
things.
buttons too hard.
I squeeze them way too hard.
I do the same thing.
So-
I've broken a few PlayStation 5 controllers.
You know what's helped me with that actually? Because I've I used to have that problem a lot too, where I would squeeze it too hard. the thing that saved me was Osu.
Yeah, you've said that before.
Because in Osu, to like really get good at that game, your hand and arm have to be relaxed. Otherwise, you just hit
So-
a plateau.
I don't have a. I guess I do have a problem. I have the opposite problem on a mouse. On a mouse, I have the problem that I eventually am lifting up too much, so these get really tired.
I see.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So
yeah.
you broke your hand. You fucked it up after Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
How was that?
Monster Hunter Wilds is the best and worst Monster Hunter I've ever played in my life at the same time.
Yes.
I
absolutely hate it
I-
and I absolutely love it
I agree.
at the exact same time.
Wholeheartedly.
I do not
Guys.
think they should have released the game. I think it is a huge disrespectful thing to do to release a game in such a buggy mess.
Yes.
It is incredible to me that on a 2080 Ti, which I can get 100 plus frames in Star Citizen, like the does it run crisis of our era right now.
Does
I can
it
get-
run Crisis.
I can get 100 plus frames in Star Citizen, but I could not get more than 45 frames in Monster Hunter until I turned on AMD's like FSR frame generation technology, not DLSS. DLSS did nothing.
Yeah.
Like, blows my mind that it is that bad.
Yeah.
And makes me kind of want to potentially get a 9070 XT instead of a 5080.
I mean, the options are there.
Yeah.
It's
but I
not
will
because they're all sold
say-
out, but yes.
I will also say that Sam, I believe, is running into a lot of issues AMD wise with this release as well, and he's running a AMD card as well.
Is it an older one?
I think it's previous generation.
Yeah, I think it's the the 780 XTX or whatever.
Yeah. But
It's
they're running
flagship.
they're running into
Yeah.
the same issues. Releases tend to go a little bit harder for AMDs just because the support is just not there.
yeah, they take forever to update their drivers.
Yeah. It blows my mind.
Yeah,
I mean-
I'm in the same boat 100%.
We are all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Nobody's computer, from what I can remember from
mean,
everybody's specs, nobody
It's
should be
worse
struggling
that
with this
y'all
game.
are having problems. Eric has a 5080 and what it?
I mean, I
I-
don't have any crazy problems anymore.
Anthony, I crashed 4 times the other night. When I was
Yeah,
home.
he crashed. Dude, Eric's having
that makes no
problems.
sense. You have the graphics card
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the GP or CPU.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're disrespecting everybody.
It's rough. It's
I
rough.
mean,
And then,
yeah.
but I will say, for me, that the technical problems, the technical bugs, are an issue. 100%, huge problem. My biggest problem, low rank.
Low rank is the longest tutorial waste of time I've ever seen.
It's exactly. So here's the thing. I truly think that this Monster Hunter is a 19-hour tutorial.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It takes and here's the thing. I just now, as of 2 days ago or whenever it was, got to
Yes, sir.
play Monster Hunter and say, man, this feels great.
Yeah. Yeah.
My time played is 36 hours.
Good God.
Eric,
It is-
my time played is 79.
It's like an anime where you have to watch the
Yeah.
first 2 seasons for it to get good.
It's exactly like that, Anthony. Yes.
Or a
And that-
book where you have to read the first 5 books for it to get good.
you had
and-
to. Yes.
And that
absolutely.
hurts me more than anything because I do feel I can't remember what I was watching. I was watching somebody and they were like, the combat feels so amazing and so fluid and so great. And I'm like, it does. It does, but I would never here. I actually talked to somebody the other day and they were like, "Oh yeah, what have you been playing?" I was like, "I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Rise since it came out." They were like, "Oh, I've never played Monster Hunter. Should I like pick that one up?" And I honestly, in my mind, I had to go, "No. I can't recommend this game to somebody."
You can, Eric. Sorry.
Nah, dude. Nah, dude.
No. Continue.
Do you-
Continue.
Do you
Eric,
want to ruin your
Anthony,
friendship? Do you want them to run you over with a bus?
Stop.
Look.
I understand that I made an error.
like here's the thing. If you have never played Monster Hunter before and do not have a lot of time to play games, I cannot recommend
This
Monster
is not
Hunter
the game
Wilds.
for you. This is
Honestly, it isn't. It isn't.
Eric, it's not the game for you. Period. Like full stop. If you don't have time to like grind out this game, you don't have. It's not your game.
It isn't your game. And that's so sad because I think they can make one or two changes and change that entirely.
It
that's
changes
what
the
upsets me.
formula of this game, though, Eric.
No, I am not saying that.
It really does, because G rank comes around, Arc Temper comes around, Elder Dragons come around, then the true like full monsters start showing up, and you're just like,
But
wait,
Matt,
what am I doing?
What is wrong with just doing this like Worlds? And just having it to where you do the hunts
Guys,
in low rank.
I
and
don't
once
know
you've-
I don't know if you remember low rank and like trying to fight against Elder Dragons out of high rank, going from low rank to high rank after Xeno'jiiva, and then trying to fight Elder Dragons. But I do.
But here's what I'm saying. Matt. Why can't low rank just be go and you have to fight every monster in a quest and do a field investigation and go through and do the hunt for each of the low rank easy monsters, working your way up. And then once you have beaten all of them once up to Archeld, you unlock high rank.
Eric, I can tell you exactly what's wrong with that.
Okay, go.
It goes against the formula that they've prescribed to every single Monster Hunter game from the beginning.
But it's not.
No,
That's what they
Eric,
do.
But Eric, it's not that you're not wrong. It's that the way that the game is designed and the way that a lot of people view Monster Hunter is kind of colloquial with this kind of this mindset around there having to be stages in between, and that the low rank piece is built to filter out people who are just there to have a good time, which is bad. It's a bad design. It's a bad design, Eric. It's a bad design. Yes, absolutely.
Now,
That's not going to change, because if you're gonna find out when you get to Japan, there's a lot of things that they do that just
boom
doesn't make any sense.
All that I am positing is that they do every single hunt that currently exists inside of Monster Hunter Wilds, but take out all of the intermediary steps and turn them into investigations.
No.
That's all I'm positing.
No.
Dude, all I want.
Because a lot of the spirit of the game is built into the things that as you go through the game, you're like, oh, this is actually really special to me. Like,
They could
for
still do that,
instance,
though.
For instance, let's just go ahead and speak about how Worlds and Iceborne had this cat that would cook meals for you.
Matt, you just brought up the biggest freaking thing they failed.
Exactly.
They don't cook for us anymore.
I know. They're fixing that.
That's bull. Are we playing a beta?
Yes, technically yes. I
paid
feel
$70 for a beta.
Really bad. I feel really bad because like I've actually kind of led you guys astray by like leading you to think that this game is gonna come out and it's gonna be perfect. Like,
cannot believe
I'm so sorry.
How much shit Star Citizen gets when games like Monster Hunter can come out for $70, 1.0 release.
No, because Iceborne exists, and the game itself is so fun.
It's a previous game. That's not Monster Hunter Wilds.
But it took Worlds to get to Iceborne, and they've done it they've done it for multiple generations of games. These games have always launched stilted. They've
You
always come out.
can't do that
No, you can't. But they
because
do
then
it
nobody
anyway,
plays
Anthony.
it. Nobody
do it, Anthony.
knows.
Everybody plays it. Everybody knows
No.
that
Everybody
low rank to high
barely
rank,
plays it.
low rank to high. No. Oh my God.
Everybody
let's not talk
barely
about.
plays
Let's
it.
not talk about the numbers, Anthony.
You gotta look at the numbers.
It's smashing. It is absolutely slaughtering numbers. I'm pretty sure it beat Elden Ring.
No. How many players get to high rank?
No. You asked for
How many people?
numbers. You asked
No,
for
no.
people
I said.
who are actually
I
playing.
said people don't play Iceborne. People don't actually play high rank. They don't get to experience it because all the bull that they have to trudge through to get there.
Actually, no, because whenever they released the trailer for Wilds, there was a huge spike of people playing Iceborne. So, yes, in the sense that like over time there is a dulling of the hype around this game, and only the true diehards continue to play the game because it's just like a farming simulator at the very end of the day. But whenever the hype is there, this game is gas. Like there's no denying that there is a gravitational pull towards the idea of being able to hunt a massive monster with very specific levels of skill for certain weapons. Like it's magic. Like you can't say it's not working.
This is, for better or for worse, and I'm just saying this from a numbers perspective, this is going to end up being the best performing Monster Hunter of all time.
Of all time. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just from a numbers perspective, because
guys,
their all-time peak is insane.
It's the best that the game has ever been. You guys, I understand this is very upsetting, and some of the stuff that they're doing is not great.
Functional combat to monster perspective, and this is the problem. This is why me and Anthony are like, it is both the best and worst, because I think if you just were to take the hunts, when I press, I'm going to investigate this monster, to me killing or catching that monster, that gameplay loop is by far the best it has ever been.
Yeah.
By far. It's not even close. This surpasses every single Monster Hunter game that I've ever played. And I've played almost all of them.
Absolutely.
Like, this is the only one where I have found the combat to be so enjoyable that I'm like, I am down to grind monsters in this game.
Yeah.
Because it is that fun.
It's the best it's ever been. Continue.
So, and just with that said, there are things about it because of that I'm like, I hate that you're doing this.
All right. So here is the thing. I'm going to share this with you guys, and it's going to give us some good data.
Let me go ahead and go to share screen. Okay.
You see this here?
Yeah.
Monster Hunter is not doing as well as you think it is. Sure, the numbers aren't bad, but what I was bringing up stands. The most people that played was in the first beta, way back here in October.
Mm-hmm.
Less than half of that, so 460,000. Only 260,000 played.
See, this
for the
is
release.
But this is not an accurate
and look how
depiction.
Or actually, no, this was another beta. That wasn't the release. This is accurate. This is Steam charts. This is 100%.
I'm saying it's an accurate depiction.
Why is this so different from Steam charts?
This is Steam charts.
No, because look, that's Steam DB. Look at Steam charts here. So Steam charts is showing something totally different. I wonder why.
Did you send a link?
Yeah. I linked it in the moderator chat. I'm not saying this is. I don't know which one is correct. I'm not arguing correctness. I just wonder why the numbers are so different.
Yeah. So Steam DB is the right place to go. Steam charts is a knockoff.
What?
I mean, Steam charts doesn't even work. You can't even click on like 3 months and 6 months and stuff like that. It just does nothing.
That's fair. Okay. I can explain these exact spikes and exactly why. Reason why. You see that massive spike at the very beginning of the game.
It's broken on this one because the game's only been out for so long, so you can only click on the ones that it has data for since release.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
So let me explain. Even speaking to this, let me go ahead and explain. every person who has played Monster Hunter from Monster Hunter 1 to whatever is your entry point has been up until now knows that there is a unspoken rule or unspoken knowledge that low to high rank is just you figuring out how to play this version of the game. Like they make either massive or smaller changes to how the game works, and your job within low to high rank is to figure out, one, how this game works, two, how the monsters move, and three, what's going to be your game plan usually going forward as you hunt and find your individual style.
Wait. My Steam charts is showing entirely different than yours.
What game are you
Correct.
looking at?
My Steam charts are matching Steam. My Steam DB is matching Steam charts.
Let us see. So app ID right here, 306,000. This is the beta.
That's the beta, dude.
So this is exactly okay. Good job. Share this tab instead. Okay, so we saw the beta. Beta
Yeah.
makes sense for a beta. All right, now let's look at this. Is it? I was gonna say, how long has it been out?
Only since February.
So you
28th
choose
of
like
February.
1 week. Okay, interesting. But you can't choose 1 month here either.
Yeah.
'Cause
I think
yeah.
it's the API thing. It just doesn't have the data. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's down to less than half of what it was
Yes,
when
and
it
I
came
can
out.
and I
Which
can
is fair.
explain
That's
why. I can explain why. Most of the
Well,
people
that's
who
every game. Every game peaks on release.
True. Also, I can explain exactly why this thing is going to spike immediately in April. Reason why is because the game releases in an incomplete state, which is not uncommon at this point in time in terms of game development and what comes out whenever it releases to the public demand. But with Monster Hunter, low to high rank is just a tutorial. Like Eric said, it's
The longest tutorial.
is the longest tutorial that you'll ever go through. And they've added some things which sucks. Like the freaking auto-piloted observation of the environment after you kill the apex predator between low rank to high rank is actually monotonous. It's the worst. That being said, everybody knows going into this, even before they showed us all this bullshit, that as soon as we start this game, our goal is to learn how to play this game so that as the releases come out, we know how to go ahead and play this game against monsters who have now been curated and trained to fight us based on the patterns or the incorrect ways to hunt that will punish us moving forward. So the idea is we are now pitted against monsters who are like, oh, that's a really cool combo. Let me fucking blow your head off every single time you do it because it's sloppy and you should know better. The game is going to continue to show you that you are not as good as you think you are based on what you've done before. You have to continually to become better by facing new challenges. And it culminates as you get to the peak of these games to our apex monsters, like our black dragons. So like the fact that nobody is telling you, hey, you need to drink an armor skin, you need to take a demon shrug before you take a hunt, means that this game is not even like done with you. There is not a monster right now that is requiring you to use all the tools that you are being bestowed right now. That being said, there's some jank.
So
there's some janky shit going on with this game for sure.
So like all I'm trying to get at, and I'm going to use a few charts here to try to help articulate. So here we have Monster Hunter Wilds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 1.4 million. Big numbers.
Mhm.
Biggest numbers I think Monster Hunter's ever seen.
Yeah.
Yes, by far.
By
It's been what, less than 2 weeks, and it's
Mhm.
at half.
Because everybody's at rank 100 and they're done. Yeah.
So, or what Eric and I have been saying. Here is Monster Hunter Rise. Okay. And then in the first 2 weeks, also goes, 134K down to 10K. Huge drop. Here
Yeah.
is the first 2 weeks of Monster Hunter Worlds.
Yeah.
320K, which was bigger than Rise, which is surprising.
Yeah. Do you
and
have
then
Iceborne
goes-
on this as well?
Down to 48K.
Iceborne numbers are not actually separate. They're inside of Monster Hunter World.
Okay,
If we
so
go to
you'd have
Monster
to
Hunter
actually check
World
it
and we
out.
just click on max here, you can see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it released.
That makes sense.
So it just drops off. Okay, but by comparison, this is Marvel Rivals first 2 weeks, steady.
We can't see my
sorry.
rivals.
Monster Hunter Rivals first 2 weeks, steady, completely steady. Go to max, it does go down a little bit, but then it goes up, and down a little bit, goes up, down a little bit. Okay. Go
So
to
what is
Apex
it that you're
Legends.
trying- what are you attempting to
First
debate?
2 weeks. Almost there. First 2 weeks.
Okay,
Apex
okay.
Legends going up,
and then dropping the fuck
actually,
out.
no, this is all of it.
Yeah.
So first 2 weeks, it's just only going up,
Yeah.
which is good.
Okay.
So my argument is that if Monster Hunter Wilds and all Monster Hunters would do kind of something like Eric is saying or something I'm saying, where it's just like get us into high rank as fast as possible, their numbers could go up instead of down. I think that people
disagree.
are not playing into the high rank. I think people are. I think the people that is losing, it loses in low rank. And I wish there was a way for us to see like hours played by
the actual
person.
popularity.
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
would. That's honestly the metric that we're missing for this to be like
Sticky.
a valid thing to argue about too, because I agree with you, but I also like we just don't have the data to know
Oh shit.
when people are leaving. But when people are leaving makes such a big difference, because here's the other thing, the other problem with what we're looking at is that every single game on the market that has a campaign, and I am going to consider that Monster Hunter Wilds has a campaign, whether people want, like, I understand
Look at
that
Elden
it's not
Ring.
doing it, but
Yeah.
even Elden Ring, every single campaign game, there is some percentage of people that are playing it just to play through the story, and then they are getting out of there.
Yeah.
which is why those should be separate things. That's just like how Star Citizen has
I agree.
a campaign coming
100%.
out, and then it has the MMO.
Eric,
Separate them.
Anthony, you are right. Absolutely. I want to remind you that the people who made this game are Japanese
idiots?
businessmen.
You mean
No,
You mean they're like
they're not
Nintendo?
idiots. They're not idiots. They're
No, they
incredibly,
are
incredibly intelligent.
no. Okay, time out.
No.
Most
Anthony,
humans are idiots. We are all
correct.
idiots.
Correct.
Okay, the
Then-
difference
then in
between
that
us and a
regard,
monkey
yes.
is very tiny.
Then in that regard, yes, Anthony, they are not going to change unless you actually strip them naked.
What does that mean?
Meaning that they will not, if it is done in terms of like, this is how we have made this game since year one up till now, we've been successful. We will make iterations based on this, but we will not remove the spirit, quote unquote, the spirit of the game.
Let me tell you right now.
I would say the
They are
spirit
not gonna
died
change
with
this.
the freaking
They're
chef
not going to
hat.
change this. They're not going to
They're-
change it.
And I'll tell you why they're not going to change it. Because this was the most successful Monster Hunter of all time.
So they've just been told that they've done
But
everything right.
that's not necessary. The problem is that the data doesn't mean that it's the most successful. The data kind of just mean like we need to see a correlation
Here's
between how many gamers are there
the
versus
problem, though.
how many gamers were there back when Monster Hunter Worlds came out. Like the number of people that can play these games and have access to it is higher than it's ever been.
But here's the problem. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. You are entirely
Mhm.
right from a functional and our perspective.
Yes.
But I'm telling you right now, when they're in that boardroom, they're going
That
to be
is-
like, dude, we just sold 1.3 million copies. And they probably sold more than that. That's
Yep.
just the number of people that played. There are some number of people that bought it and still haven't played it or might never play it. Right?
Yep.
And so I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to design the next Monster Hunter starting now. They're going to start designing it. And they're going to be like, if they get more than 1.3 million and it goes up again, they're going to keep getting validated in their decisions. regardless of what the rating is,
I
regardless of how
I
many people keep
completely
playing,
understand that. I
Yeah.
know, and I am very sad that Monster
Me too.
Hunter is
Me too.
becoming the next Call of Duty. It will
It
never
is-
get better.
Whoa.
It
Whoa.
is. They are releasing the exact same
Whoa.
game, but worse.
Whoa.
Dude,
Whoa.
we have no Chef Cat.
Well,
Look, these are the biggest things for me. We have
Let's
no
not-
Chef Cat.
I do
Let's
call
come
a
back.
little capitalist.
We have
Just
no
a little,
Chef
just a
Cat.
little, just
Listen,
a little, just a little
listen.
cap.
God.
Listen,
Okay, I'm
Listen.
listening. I'm
We're going,
listening.
go.
we have
Okay.
no Chef Cat. We have to
That's
cook for
fair.
ourselves. That's insane. We
They're
have
fixing
a
that.
really, really
That's like,
cringy.
I mean, they're fixing it.
They're fixing it.
That doesn't count. It's not out as a release. On release, Worlds had Chef Cat. Okay. Number 2, we have one of the most cringy, boring campaign stories ever.
It really
but when
is.
we
It really is.
create
And
our
that's
armor,
like I can't even argue this
It's
point.
really
You're
bad.
right.
when
really
we
bad.
create our armor, we get the same voice line every time. Perfection. Perfection. You couldn't have her do
To be
two
fair-
other voice
to be
lines?
Fair, to be
to
fair,
have 3?
To be fair, the other Monster Hunters didn't do it either. They literally just
They're
they rolled the shit on the
wasting-
conveyor belt or showed it to you, and then you
Yeah.
immediately put it back on.
All I'm saying is Monster Hunter is going out the window. They are now
It's
soulless.
Really not.
They do not have creativity.
You're
It is
right.
the
You're
next-
right in that sense.
Call of Duty.
It's whoa, sir. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. How do I go ahead and bat this so that I don't sound like an immediate shill?
No, Claire's like no appreciation for the low rank story progression.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Claire. Anyway, no, the low rank story is absolutely dog shit, and they should do better. That being said, Call of Duty is a fucking call out, my guy. There's like, yes, there are certain things that are intrinsic to the way that you hunt now that are still like ties to previous games. Yes. However, every single time a Monster Hunter comes out, there is a definite shift of how you have to approach the hunt. Yes, there are still things that happen every single time you do a hunt. You still use shock traps. You still use demon drugs and armor skin. You still use potions and such to go ahead and fill your health. I'm not going to deny that they're reminiscent in that sense. Call of Duty, as a whole, has not changed, I don't feel, in a large way since the Black Ops era. Like, in terms of like what you do within that multiplayer arena, it has not changed. Correct?
I don't know, dude. I stopped playing that like 10 years ago.
Then why are you?
Because
No, don't talk.
I brought
don't
up
talk. Don't
because
talk.
the game isn't
No,
changing.
no,
The
no,
game
no.
isn't
You don't bring-
changing.
No, you don't bring. You don't bring
It's
up
the
a-
same
no,
game
no,
with some
no.
minor changes.
That being said, Monster Hunter always seems to bring something new to the table. for
So
you
does
to
Call of
manipulate.
Duty, but it's barely
You
different.
just told me that you don't know. Anyway,
They al-
anyway, it does not change how you approach the entire way that you're shooting the person dynamically, correct? It does not change how the bullets interact with the person. It does not change how the bullets affect said person.
No, they add things like, oh, now it shoots through the walls, you know, or now the
It shoots through the walls.
now the
Does the
walls are
bullets-
destructible,
when the bullet
like stuff like
hits,
that.
When the bullet hits, does it still kill the person?
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't
Claire,
know. But I would
Claire is
expect
saying
so.
that I've been misinterpreted. She enjoyed it. She enjoyed
okay.
the story.
Okay,
So-
okay, Claire, thank you. Okay,
So,
when the
I
bullet
think-
hits, it kills the person. It goes from A to B. Gun shoots bullet, kills person. Correct?
Probably.
Okay, cool. When they throw a flashbang, blinds the person. Correct?
Yeah.
That's been introduced in previous games and has been used in its entirety throughout the entire series up until now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In World, we are introduced to the Slinger.
Mm-hmm.
completely redefines how you approach hunting a monster, because you can
Well-
now mount onto the monster and change and then sling it into walls, causing opportunities to cause more damage.
Mm-hmm.
Comes this season, we now
Well,
have
and-
clashes. We now have power struggles that you can actually engage with the monster, and then you also have weak points that you can go ahead and pivot onto to cause more staggering or more opportunities to cause damage to the monster. I'm not saying that there are not things that are equal, like possibly equal to Call of Duty. What I will say is that there is a definite effort that needs to happen for Monster Hunter with the things that it needs to bring to the table that Call of Duty does not have to do.
So
Because
here
their
and here's
market is
where
not the same.
here's where I think the hardest part is of like connecting these dots. I actually think, and this is my opinion, I think that Monster Hunter Wilds changed the combat in such a wonderful way and far surpasses its predecessors.
For sure.
But the problem is that the amount of fluff that you have to go through before you truly get to engage with and embrace those mechanics is such a long time that I think someone could play the game for a substantial amount of time and not actually see those improvements or feel them. And that is one of the things that I think like Anthony, I 100% think that you haven't experienced the things that they have
You
actually
haven't
changed about the
experienced
combat
actual
yet.
game yet.
And that isn't your fault. That is 100% the
For
game's
sure.
fault. And I think
Yes.
that is a detriment to the game. And that is my biggest issue with the game
Yes.
by far, is that
For
you
sure.
could go about 19 hours and never,
And
and
you'll
never,
never hit the Zen state. You'll never hit
and
the
you'll
Zen state. No.
never get those. You don't even have to engage with those mechanics for the
No.
first 19 hours of the game.
No.
And that is a shame, because I do think that the Call of Duty reference kind of misses the mark here, for me at least, because I have been able to engage with those mechanics. I can see where all of the developer time went for this game. And it was for mechanics you don't get
It's
to
the mechanics. Yeah.
and you don't get to engage with them for 19 hours, and that's insanity to me. That hurts.
Honestly, I
that
think
hurts.
Anthony should play Sword and Shield. I think that would actually like set the bar for him.
Or Pokemon?
But here's the problem now. You
Pokemon Sword and Shield?
that was pretty good. No. The weapon. The weapon. That was aptly timed though, for sure.
Why would I play Sword and Shield?
Okay, the reason why I say Sword and Shield is because it is the most main character weapon that I've run into in the game, other than Great Sword. It does all of the things. You're incredibly versatile in the way that you approach the monster. You are very high damage, but with also a lot of functionality. And every hunt that you do, you feel like you're doing something. Like, the only problem right now where you are in terms of the campaign is that you don't feel like you're doing anything. Like, you're hunting monsters, yeah, but like, there's no flow. They keep on putting things in between you and the monsters that doesn't make any sense. Like, they keep on telling me to talk to Nada, and I don't want to talk to Nada. I want to body this Quematrix like for the 5th time because it keeps on talking shit about my mom, you know? So, all that to say, it's just I agree with Eric in the sense that the game really has not been exposed to you yet. I know that you are open to the experience of like enjoying this game. At least I hope that you are, just because I know that Capcom, is it Capcom? Did Capcom make
Yes,
this game?
it's Capcom.
Yeah. Okay. Capcom doesn't have a great rap sheet with Monster Hunter. Like, if we really take everything into account, these games were not popular
All right.
until Monster Hunter 4.
You know what we
And
gotta
then
do?
they started picking up. What's
I
that?
would
Now that my
say-
hand works,
Yeah.
we're gonna play Monster Hunter this week, and we'll talk about it next time.
Okay. I'm down for that. I'm
Okay.
down for that.
What's
I
that?
will say there were a bunch of things. There was something I have it in a note somewhere. Oh my gosh, but I didn't put it in the Taphaven note, so I don't know where it is. There was something I was really looking forward to
So
that's coming out soon, but I can't remember what it is.
I think it'll be Gone Beast is probably coming up soon.
Ash is like, I'm getting to high rank with or without him.
Dude, I'm already high rank. Let's go. Level. Well,
Yep.
sorry, I'm not just high rank. I'm level 100.
Yeah, Nat, you went all
I'm
out.
yo,
man.
so Anthony,
is that
this
what
is
I
the
was gonna
thing
be
that
like?
yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
I
Yes,
was level.
yeah.
I'm level 100.
Nat
at this
passed
point.
everybody.
I passed everybody. I couldn't stop. It got to the
Yeah.
point where I actually got like a bump on my eye from focusing too hard and not blinking.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
My
went
eyes got so
far.
dry that it caused like irritation.
Dude, I actually had that vision thing again just the other night
Oh really?
really?
Be careful,
Yeah.
man.
with
Yeah.
the rainbow like diamond geometric shapes
I
just
mean,
appearing. It was after I played up with my mom.
Oh,
God.
jeez.
Your blood pressure was well. I would probably ask your doctor to check your blood pressure.
Yeah, I was dehydrated and
There it is.
high blood pressure, high
That'll do it. That'll
high
do it for sure.
brightness while it's dark.
Mm-hmm,
Y'all have been here. There's not enough lighting to counteract the
Mm-mm.
brightness of the TV.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Claire, I don't necessarily fully hate the story. It's just that you can't skip anything, and these two always go so fast and ahead of me that I'm just trying to skip everything so I can keep up with them.
Anthony, let me tell you this.
And in English, it sucks. Maybe in Monster Hunter language or in Japanese, it doesn't suck, but in English,
Anthony.
it's pretty bad.
Let me tell you this right now.
Yeah.
I will, and I guarantee this to you right now. I will play this game at the level that you are playing it. I will take off all of the buffs, all the shit that I have equipped right now to make sure that you have the experience. No, shut up. Shut up.
No, it wasn't you. It was Ash.
What did Ash say?
What? You put yours in
I put mine in
Spanish?
Spanish.
Wait,
Why?
No. Don't put it in Spanish. Put it in Monster Hunter language.
You can't. They don't give you the option.
What? No, they have Monster Hunter
They
language.
don't have Monster Hunter language. I'm telling you right now, they don't have Monster Hunter language. I
Are you sure?
looked. Yeah.
Hey
Wait,
Claire,
actually,
have
let me
you?
boot it
Is
up
this
right
your
now.
first
Let me
Monster
find out.
Hunter, or have you played Monster Hunter before?
I didn't know Claire played Monster Hunter.
Yeah. I'm trying to read your message.
This is iBox's wife, right?
No.
Okay.
No. This is you've met Claire in real life. She was at my
Nat
wedding.
just booted up Monster Hunter Wilds. You played Monster Hunter World?
did.
Okay.
I did. Just to make sure that
Claire,
like,
I think
Monster
the
Hunter-
coolest characters in the new one are definitely the little. I want to call them the little. I
The
need a bleep button.
Ewoks.
Yeah,
The Ewoks.
with the Woodwoods.
the little poops.
The Woodwoods. I love Woodwoods.
The Woodwoods. They are
I
adorable.
think
They're
I
amazing.
think Claire explains what I want Monster Hunter to focus on more.
Mhm.
What's
And
that?
I think the low rank isn't. I think the low rank just isn't doing what you're saying as good as I think it should, rather than saying that it doesn't have enjoyable parts of that. I think the weapon and armor design is amazing.
Yep. Peak.
Yeah,
Best
I
it's ever
think
been.
I think being able to go in and kill monsters with friends is amazing.
Incredible.
I think that having the side quests and being able to explore the world through those at your own pace is amazing.
Incredible.
My biggest complaint is merely that you are locked behind a time gate of the main campaign
Yeah.
of getting through some wall that allows you to like move forward and do the rest of the things. Whereas I literally think that Monster Hunter Worlds was from a unlock progression, quest progression was infinitely better than Wilds.
Wait. What did you say?
I think Worlds unlock progression was far better than Wilds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
tinfoil hat here. They have simply extended how long it takes to get to high rank to boost their numbers for
I don't think I'm not saying that isn't what their goal was because I don't know. We weren't in the boardroom. I'm not sure.
Guys, there
It
is no
100%
voice
could be that.
language option for Monster
Spanish?
Hunter language.
That makes me sad, unfortunately.
Yeah,
They didn't do Monster Hunter language?
They
they didn't have
They
Monster
didn't.
Hunter language.
Yeah, that's sad. But I will say
Worst
that,
game ever.
I will say that I don't know if that's the effect that they're going to have because I, like you, also think that there is some greater majority of people who are, I think there are two possibilities. And I think 75% of people fall into one of these two categories. One is they get to high rank, they do a mission or two, and they stop playing the game once they get to high rank. They don't actually enjoy high rank. Those are the people that are essentially the campaign beaters. They beat the campaign and then they're done. They're not actually going to enjoy what I think is the most enjoyable part of the game, where you're actually doing the things. Or two, they don't like the campaign. They play 8 to 10 hours because that's the time that they have available for them, and they never make it close to high rank. And I think
All right.
about 75% of people fall into that category. And I, like you, don't think that is going to help them because my concern is if enough people fall into that category, what is going to happen is that, oh yeah, I mean, the music, they do a really good job on the music, actually. I'm down for the soundtracks. The monster music is great. Again, when you, the time of talking to the girl, accepting the quest, and killing the monster is 100% of what I want in Monster Hunter. And this Monster Hunter does that 10 times better than any other Monster Hunter before it for me.
It introduces mechanics that you're gonna need for future fights, especially for the bigger monsters. In terms of combat and actual mechanics, this game is the best that Monster Hunter has been at this point. There's
Agreed.
nothing better. There's nothing better of
For
any
me,
of the
they just
generations.
added a lot of, in addition to making those things amazing, they added a lot of bloat that I think they could have done. I think they could have kept it. For me, I think they could have done more Call of Duty and actually kept the campaign and progression more similar to Worlds. And people would have seen how much the combat improvements and the mechanics.
They could have
like,
gone
shown.
simplistic. Yes,
Yeah.
they could have gone simplistic. But at the same time, we also have to take into consideration that this game has a history of not taking any big swings when it comes to the actual progression of the game.
Yeah.
The progression has not changed. There is
Fair.
I can tell you I mean like my entry point was
It hasn't.
Monster Hunter 4. So obviously like it has been modernized since I've touched it. But
But you're entirely right. The actual progression has stayed very similar since Monster Hunter 1.
It's very samey. And like that comes down to a lot of what makes Japanese culture a little bit problematic. Because
Agreed. That is a culture thing. Because a lot of the Japanese audience doesn't want it to change.
It's not a progression thing. For them, the biggest market for this game is going to be their Japanese players because they've been playing it since they were kids. And they want that nostalgic pull. And that kind of carries on into other games. We're fortunate enough to have like features now where we can kind of bridge the gap in terms of the functionality between the previous game and now. But I still remember whenever I had to drink a potion and I had to flex afterwards. I couldn't move after I drank a potion. I would drink it, flex, and then I would have to be able to move. That is a change of mechanics that had to come after 2 generations after I entered. And I was like 23 at the time. So it takes them like 5 to 10 years to truly implement game mechanics or game design mentality that makes sense to us. I'm not saying that they are dumb in any way. I'm not saying that they are well, I am saying that they're flawed. Their target is off, and it's unfortunate that it comes at the price of a lot of people looking at this game and be like, oh, is this the next thing that I'm going to get into? Is this my next passion? Because I'm already telling you guys, I'm getting a hammer well, sorry, no, I'm not getting a hammer tattoo. I'm getting a sword and shield tattoo. Like, it's happening.
Let's
Like,
go.
so I understand people like wondering like what's this all about and why is it so weird and everything, but like it's
I mean, I will say this.
it's a fantastic game.
If you are a person. Oh, okay. My bad.
I tried to wrap it up like 10 minutes ago.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Someone's talking about. Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
It's
I'm
dinner's
so
getting cold.
sorry. I'm very passionate about this. I'm so sorry that we carried
We'll
this
talk more about Monster Hunter next time.
You should have
was
said
so
I need
more.
a drink.
Yes, I need a drink.
It's in the warmer actually because you're excellent.
Nice.
Oh man.
Thank you.
Saving the podcast as a mod and saving the home life.
Yes.
Let's go. Okay, well, dude, this has been a wonderful episode. We'll talk more about Monster Hunter. I'm sure we'll still play some more of it this week.
We gotta catch Anthony up.
Yeah, I'll talk more about. I am excited about a lot of things to come this year from a gaming and whiskey perspective. So we got a great rest of the year ahead of us, guys, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So I don't know. I imagine we'll be good for an episode on Monday, and it'll just be. Yeah. Hey, drinking more whiskey and talking some Monster Hunters. So let's go.
Talking some monsters. Nobody is playing anything but Monster Hunter.
Yeah. There is actually one thing I want to play this weekend, so I will talk about that. Hopefully, I'll get to play it. I'm hoping I'll get some.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, the only other thing I had is that we're over on the Black Ice channel, which I'm going to link in all of our stuff. The first Icebox podcast is actually going to release. Ooh. So we're going to go back and forth. We're kind of sponsoring each other there. So I'll link all that in the doobly doo and stuff like that. And yeah, and we'll catch you in the next one. Everybody like, subscribe, do all the stuff. First affiliate stream. Let's go.
Let's go.
Follow Meliking if you haven't.
Yes, follow all the channels. Follow all the channels.
Might stream. I don't know.
How do we shout out? How do we shout out? I can put the link in my chat.
I mean, we can drop @, I guess, inside the chat.
Shout out. All the links are in Taphaven, right? All the links are in Taphaven.
Yeah.
So
there we go. You can do shout outs and stuff. And
all the links are in Taphaven. So just go to Taphaven, scroll on down there.
We need.
If you're on the Astolfo channel, all of the I link everybody's channels below. So
we got to add a bot.
Yes, I gotta do the bot stuff.
Shout.
Yeah,
I gotta like shouts out all of our things in the chat.
Do it.
I do have to do that. There is a lot of stuff I gotta set up, guys. I'm new.
Someday.
Yes. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.
Cue the outro music.
Kawaii Disney.
Awesome, guys.
Just start doing the. I don't think